Welcome,
Hey,
everyone, ladies
it's
and gentlemen,
us,
boys
finally.
and girls, and everyone in between. We're finally back, I believe, after like a 2-week break, and we're back with Legends of Avantris Prime. We are the Legends of Avantris crew, or most of us at least. We're a group of 7 nerds, 5 of us here today, that embarrass ourselves for your entertainment. We've been playing Dungeons and Dragons together, 5th edition, for over 2.5 years now. And this has been our primary campaign. We've, if you're a fan of the channel, you've known that we've started to kind of branch out and do a bunch of different campaigns. This is our OG campaign, hence why we call it Prime. And so we took a little bit of break for Otakon, an anime convention that we were all at. We all got to see each other and hang out, and that was fantastic. And so we are back to regularly scheduled programming, at least for a little bit here. And we'll just go around the table and introduce our players and our characters here. So we'll start with Nikki, who's playing Sylvie Flickerwicket. She is a Forest Gnome Warlock. Then we have Richie playing Rodek Stonehearth, a dwarf fighter.
Ooh.
Mountain dwarf fighter. We then have Kelsey playing Annulin Mossgrove, a wood elf ranger. We then have Andy, I almost called you Avantris, you just that much in character, playing Vandus.
Thank you,
Rabbit.
for the sub, Rabbit.
Yeah,
5 months in a row. Look
Holy
at that.
moly.
You almost have another badge color.
Andy, who plays Vandus True Strike, a high elf rogue, and he's also the great Andini in chat. Be sure to follow him on Twitch. He's an excellent video game streamer, plays a lot of fun video games, and it's a good time kind of palling around in that chat when we're not streaming. So
the one and only.
It's pretty delightful. He's way better than the regular Andini, as Derek always says. Every single time. Hey, Derek. And he'll be watching tomorrow morning. And, or maybe he's in here now, I don't think so. And so, I'm Mikey. I'm the Ironing Board DM.
Hey,
Thank you for the sub, Nose. We love you.
Oh, you're amazing.
Much
You're
appreciated.
amazing.
I'm the Ironing Board DM. I'm finally DMing on my Ironing Board, back in the saddle, as they say. I write fan fiction and roll dice, and do wacky voices, which is the only reason why I do this. Is really those 3 things. Frankly, truth be told. And with that, I think we can get into what happened last time on Dragon Ball Z. Let me pull up a little bit of music. A little bit of, actually, why don't we do, we'll just do Goldhaven music, why not? We'll just do standard Goldhaven music.
Oh, are you saying we're not going to be in Goldhaven much longer?
No, we were in like a spooky business. Oh, actually, here now, I know exactly what I'm going to play. Sorry, guys, music's very important to me. So we have point. Okay. So last session, what happened? You all did you guys checked out your mansion?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you all finally finished the grand speech that Vito and Amalia had given the Silver Serpents, and the city was celebrating you. You were escorted then to your new manor, the Dreamline Estate. It was incredibly lavish, formerly owned by a deceased gnome wizard named Wisenheimer, who had eccentric tastes, and hence why it was called the Dreamline Estate. It very much matched the name. Eccentric shades of purple and blues and greens matched the outside with spiraling towers and brilliant gardens, and it almost seemed as if a creek was running through the mansion itself. It had a wide variety of rooms with purpose and unpurpose, and with full freedom to do what you will. You met your head housekeeper, Gus Langtree, who was an old. He was that like this.
Oh God!
And you met him. He was the main housekeeper, the main caretaker of the estate. and it was fully staffed. He guided you around. There were 4 master bedrooms, conveniently, because Wisenheimer was as wacky as I needed him to be to fit the campaign. And there were 4 master bedrooms, and so you each got one. There was even conveniently an armory, which doubled as a dungeon where you chucked Orpheus. And you gave Seamus a place to stay. You really kind of explored. Avantris spent the full, very rare and expensive inks and chalks to create a permanent teleportation circle. And a process that is can be done instantaneously, usually not, but when it's done, it requires, I think, 1,500 gold pieces. So very expensive. And but they had one charge, basically, due to what they had pilfered from Orpheus's lair. And after kind of getting settled in, they decided on their next step. They wanted to uncover some of these mysteries that they had heard about. They quickly they got Forgus out of prison and brought him back to his hideout, his safe house, where they met with Emeria and Seamus, and really the whole gang got together, and they decided what they were going to do, and they realized that they wanted to kind of get to the bottom of the disaster catastrophe that had led to a death in the party of one of Avantris' former bounty hunting members, as well as the former bounty hunting member of Forgus and Emeria as well. And they decided to go to the house where it happened, deep within the cache. They left, and they poked around in there, and it was very dusty. It seemed as if it hadn't been touched. It was known that this place was spoken of as being cursed. Even the thugs and hardcore individuals of the Kench wouldn't dare make their way into this cursed place. Forgus thought it was a portal to the ghost stream, according to one of his theories. And they arrived, heavily boarded up, windows and doors, and one door at least, backed up against the tall wall of Gullhaven. Forgus bashed the door in, and they began investigating. Sylvia and Vandris went upstairs and found a locked closet where they opened it and found a decomposing corpse. Looked to be over a year old. And it was sitting in hunched over in this closet, but it looked as if it was almost tearing its face off in sheer horror. The exploration downstairs found that beneath the floorboards there were 4 separate chambers, where probably about 5 feet deep, where on all of the sides were markings of these strange, horrible, wailing faces. And at the center of each of these was a circle drawn. A simple circle. They also found black thread in a number of these, very fine black silk thread, kind of that had been pulled off by the roughness of these floorboards beneath the actual floor of this house. And they drew some conclusions that the job potentially that maybe that there was someone who had been in here and drawn these runes. Sylvie had the idea to ask Orpheus about them. Orpheus then revealed that in his criminal days, breaking into places and sneaking around in places of magic and artifacts, that he had seen similar markings in the necromancy school of Anzu, where he previously worked and lived. Things were starting to add up, and the party kind of, I'll let you kind of maybe revisit your own conclusions, so I won't put any words into your mouth. But a lot of kind of new revelations, questions potentially answered, but many, many, many more raised. And so with that, the party has left the house and is now walking through the Kench, heading back, I assume, to Forgus's safe house or otherwise. So, we'll begin the session. You all are walking the streets of the Kench. Emeria walks alone, a good 15 feet ahead of you. You are walking in silence. At the very least, Forgus is kind of looking down. You see His eyes seem to be a little bloodshot. He's hopped up on something. It's hard for you to tell. He's kind of muttering to himself. You see some froth in his beard. And you've seen him get pretty intense, Avantris, but this is probably close to the intense and messed up as he's gotten. And Seamus is just kind of looking off. His eyes are on Emiria, and he looks concerned and sad, but he's kind of he's put his hat back on and put up his hood, his collar on his coat, and he just kind of walking forward in silence, and you're walking through the Kench, heading wherever you care to go.
Can I catch up to Forgus?
Yeah, he's right there.
Forgus, I'm concerned about you. Are you gonna be all right there, buddy?
No, I'm fine, Avantris. Oh, excuse me.
I don't think you're fine.
I'm fine.
I've seen you amped up before, but this is something new. You look concerning.
I mean, why wouldn't you look like this if you saw what we saw in there? Excuse me.
I mean, listen, I'm upset, but I'm trying to remain calm at a time like this. It's not.
So am I, Avantris. I'm trying to remain calm.
Is there anything you want to talk about? To help ease your frustrations.
I don't know what's going to ease any of this. We uncovered a lot there, Avantris, and I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know what our plan is.
Well,
what my plan is.
Listen, we often don't have a plan. We like to kind of trial by fire, but maybe just walk it off, and if you change your mind and something's on your mind and you want to talk, let me know.
I will. He pulls out a like kind of small, looks like a flask, but there's like a wide cap. He pulls it up, and it seems to be this smell of like pepper hits your nostrils, and he pulls out these a wet banshee pepper, and he just starts.
Whoa, buddy! Maybe take it easy on the banshee peppers.
And he puts it in a pouch, and he's no, I'm fine. It helps me calm down. You know what I'm saying? And he kind of takes a few steps away and continues to kind of shake and mumble, and there's a bit more froth around his lips, but he's about as bad as he was.
What time is it?
Because it was the day. So
we were in the morning.
It was in the morning, so it's probably about a little after midday, 1-ish, 2-ish, afternoon.
And so we're leaving the Kench. Does anybody remember if we planned to do something right afterwards? We were going to, I think, go back at least to Forgus's place, right?
You were talking about going to Forgus's place.
Right.
Don't remember. I just figured we would meet back at Forgus's place, collect whatever we potentially left there, and then ultimately head back to our place.
Right. So we head back to Forgus's.
You had talked about going to the Mon Ami, like it was pretty split on who actually wanted to do that plan.
Oh yeah, I'm still worried that I'll have to murder Belliver, or Belliver might murder me.
So we'll go back to Forgus's place, and we'll discuss.
Okay.
We'll discuss there.
Okay. So you're once again a very motley crew. This time, far less chest puffed out and kind of excited, but a bit more kind of lost in thought, sullen, and people still don't mess with you. People seem to kind of give you a strange eyes. As someone kind of looks over at your way, and if someone kind of gives you the stink eye, Forgus immediately just looks at him and says like, "What are you looking at, stink eye?" And then immediately they just bolt in the other direction. And he's like, "Ah," and then he just goes back on his way, and Miria just keeps her pace ahead of you, and you make your way and you get down to the alley where Forgus's safe house is. And Miria stops and waits for you all to catch up, and she is looking. Her eyes kind of seem lost, and she says, "I think I'm gonna go home and think about this. You guys can do whatever you want. I need to be alone."
All right, we won't stop you, but we'll try to fill you in on whatever we come up with.
Sylvia's going to telepathically tell Lumi to follow her,
Okay.
invisibly,
Okay.
and just make sure she doesn't do anything crazy.
Got it.
And then to report back if she like tries to take off in the middle of the night or does anything weird, but just to keep an eye on her and
Cool.
make sure she does what she said
Okay.
she's going to do.
So Lumi gets. I don't know if she can communicate back, but she just lets you know, gives you a tap or something, lets you know that she's registered. Emiria looks at you and says, "Thanks, Avantris." Forgus walks up to her, and he kind of puts his fist up and says, "I swear, Emiria, we are going to figure out what the fuck is going on, and we are going to get vengeance, I guess. Whatever it is we got to get, we are going to get it. Answers and otherwise. So don't you worry. Well, you can do whatever you got to do." And then says, thanks Forgus. And then she turns and leaves and walks and goes down the alley the other way. You all make your way to Forgus's safe house. He does his classic knock to make sure no one's broken in and in there, and then he opens up his key ring and pulls out his keys and unlocks all of the relevant locks and opens the door. As soon as he opens, he says, "You know the drill." He pulls the lid off of the barrel.
We'll be here for like 5 minutes. Can we just...
I know, I mean, those are the rules.
I'm sitting outside.
Alright.
I mean, if we didn't leave anything in there for us, maybe we'll just all head home, and if you need us, you can send for us.
Okay.
Did we leave? I don't think we... Did we...
No,
I don't think so either.
I think you bought everything that you needed.
Alright, well, please just stay here, alright? Don't do anything crazy. Don't go to Ogway, please.
No, I don't know if I even want to go to Ogway. I got to figure out. I got contacts here. I gotta.
You do that.
I gotta tap my sources, my very excellent sources.
Great.
So don't you
do
worry.
your sources, and we'll meet up later. How's that sound?
Sounds good. Good.
All right.
And as you're turning to leave, Seamus turns and says, "You all have Orpheus under control, right?"
He's in prison. Our prison.
Okay. Well, if it's, I love me room, but I need to have a chat with Forgus before I head back, if you don't mind.
Of course not.
Okay.
We'll be up.
Okay. Well, I'll let Rodek let me know if you still wanna head over to the Mon Ami, and I still got me thing. He holds up his Rocky Talkie.
Oh.
He still has it.
Right? From who? Was it Annuals?
Ganges.
Oh, it's Ganges.
Ganges.
That's right.
Ganges.
You're right. And I think, certainly, I think that's still the plan, unless, we'll discuss more, but I think that we'd wait until at least a little later. So you have your talk with Forgus, we'll go back and discuss, and then we'll head out from the house.
Sounds like a good plan.
Alright.
Good luck. Stay safe.
See you soon.
And please leave Emiria alone. He looks at Avantris particularly, and he puts his hand on your shoulder, and he says, "Just, I know she's in a rough spot, but I think, don't try to be nice. I think it's the last thing that she needs right now."
No, she seems to really respect when you call her a bitch, so I think being very mean to her is the way to go.
Whatever floats her boat.
Fair enough.
Stay safe. And he turns, and both of them disappear behind the door. The door closes, and you hear the of the locks all locking firmly shut. And you are at your party is now alone.
Now,
And you're walking.
Yeah,
You're heading back to your place.
So we're
Walking
walking
and
back,
talking.
walking and talking. All right. So I know that most of you aren't too keen about going to the Mon Ami.
Yeah.
But I think that this Leon guy, if he's so loose-lipped, it would be the potential information we could get from him is quite huge.
I could always attempt one of Vandris's world-famous disguises, but it's been a while since I've been in those days, and quite frankly, we've moved on a bit. I'm willing to try it, but it could blow your cover.
Avantris, you can always wear Orpheus's dad's moldy old pants, because I think that those would maybe help you.
You know I hate those things. I just, listen, it's almost like cheating.
Well, to be fair, he can make the armor look like what he wants. He'd still have to disguise his face. Maybe wear a hat. Does Seamus have an extra hat that we could borrow?
Interesting. It's almost as if Rodek knows how these items work, and Avantris has no idea what anything does.
I thought somebody inspected it for an hour.
So just to refresh, the armor gives you +1 AC. You're able to glamour your clothing to look whatever you want. Any set of armor or clothes. And while you're wearing it, and if you're using it to enhance your disguise kit, you get advantage on your disguise kit.
Okay. I'm not sure I ever saw the actual card text.
Okay, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, not a big deal.
Cool.
I mean, that's just something we have to decide here as a team. I'm willing to give it a try, as always. I'm literally never scared. But I don't want to blow Rodek's cover, that's all.
Well, Rodek blows his own cover most of the time, so I don't think you really have to worry about that. But, so this is my thought. If we're going to do this, and you want to wear Orpheus's dad's moldy old pants, then you could disguise yourself as a pimp. Maybe? Trying to sell off some ladies of the night. And I obviously can disguise myself really well because I have my amazing hat. So I could be, what do they call pimps, ladies, pimpettes?
I think that's an awesome plan. I love every second of that. My only concern was, I think that should be plan B. Because I was just thinking, if I go in there at all, I wasn't going to say anything. I just wanted to be there in case Rodek needed me, and let's see what he gets first. Then we could always give the old pimp plan a try.
Okay.
I'd at the very least like you all to be nearby. If you're not inside, at least like right outside.
Well, I'm just trying
That
to
was
figure
my
out
thought.
how can I go into this place as me? Like, I would have to be disguised as something. And
Something to blend in.
Yeah, but
Keep a low profile.
How is a forest gnome gonna blend into a whorehouse?
It's just a casino. I mean, I essentially guess there is a whorehouse somewhere in there, but we could just look like customers.
Well, even if it is a whorehouse, I think as long as you just walk in like a patron and you're not dressed like you were that night. I mean, who even saw you? Did Belliver see you?
No, it was guards and Leon.
You think Leon
Did
remembers
Leon
that?
see us? Yeah, Leon.
So, yeah.
He didn't even see
I
you.
feel like a lot of people saw
But
us.
to be fair, we were dressed up in the makeup and the outfits of the whores that they were feeding to Dracula.
Right, so you just wear modest clothes, act like a patron, like you're just there to drink, to gamble perhaps, and you'll be fine.
Okay.
I'm in.
And Avantris, just put on like a hat and a fake nose or something. Just hide your ears.
Oh, it'll be the best disguise. It's the Avantris special. I've got one in my back pocket.
Alright, well, let's go back. Let's just take a rest, eat some lunch perhaps, and
Isn't it really late at night?
and we'll wait for Seamus. Do you eat your lunch late at night?
I thought it was like we spent most of the day in the Kench,
Yeah, it's evening.
and then we'd be back in time for things to be heating up for the nightlife.
No, I mean going back to the house.
And then we spent I thought it was already like.
Yeah, why would we
After.
eat lunch at like 8 o'clock in the evening?
What time is
Yeah,
it?
I thought it was later than that.
We
like
left
dinner time.
Fergus's house is like noon.
No, it's probably about like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, fine. We'll head back to the manor. We'll eat, we'll rest, and then we'll get to the Monami just in time for things to heat up this evening. Sound good?
Yes.
Sounds good. So yeah, we head back and we
Okay.
do that.
So, you make your way through the town. The air is kind of getting a little bit nippier by the day, and there's kind of a light overcast that has rolled in your time in the Kench. And there is still a great sense of positivity and celebration in the air, having been saved from this town. And people are the stores, and you see that the ships are you kind of see off into the harbor. That just ships are coming and going, and they're going to fish and hunt and to trade, and it's like life has returned to the Gullhaven that you remember when you first arrived. And it takes you probably a couple hours to get walking to get back to Noble Garden, and you arrive at the Dreamline Estate, and the guards let you in. And as soon as you open the door to your mansion, you see Gus standing not too far from the door. He's kind of has a little feather duster, and he's dusting off a few kind of bust statues that were left from the previous owner. And he turns and says, "Oh, well, you're back. Your friend downstairs is asking for fancy food, and I'm not sure because he's in a dungeon, and I don't ask questions or judge, but I don't know if I should bring him what he's asking for."
Definitely not. No fancy food. Just
Yeah, I
scraps.
think fancy food's fine. He gave us really good information, and I don't want to let him out. But if it weren't for him, we wouldn't know that she's one of those lickas.
I suppose you're right. But I don't have to like it.
What is it? What?
Tempting to say lich.
Yeah. No, that's not how you pronounce it. It's Lich. Licka.
Well, you can lick whatever you want, but we got dinner coming soon.
Great. Can you just make sure he gets the same thing that we eat?
Yeah, I always make extra portions in case anyone's feeling like seconds. Or maybe thirds. Heck, I ain't judging.
Perfect.
And of course, it's not like I sneak a few bites at all.
You can sneak as many bites from my plate as you want.
Well, even if I did, I wouldn't tell you.
Thank you, G-Tree. I'm exhausted. I'm gonna go to my room.
Okay, well, you got fresh linens.
Lovely. Goodbye.
Okay, bye. I'll see you at dinner.
Oh boy.
All right. Well, thank you for everything you're doing, and I really do appreciate it.
Like I said, life without people to serve is not a life worth living. It was a real dark place for a while before y'all showed up.
I don't know how to respond to that, so goodbye.
You don't have to. You can just leave. I'm the hired help.
I just turn and leave.
You go back to wherever you want to go.
Hey, Burb. Hey, sing-song Burb. All right.
You guys welcome.
All right. Well, I'm gonna just relax in my room for just a bit until dinner. I'll see you in a bit.
I'm gonna think about this disguise and make sure I don't really royally fuck it up.
Just really take your time. Well, no, maybe you should do it after dinner. Or are you planning on getting into...
I'm planning it out now. I'm gonna just really get it in my mind's eye and really concentrate on it,
Alright.
so that I can execute after dinner in a precise manner.
Well, why don't you try the armor on, see if it fits, see if you can get all the magic to work, and you can practice, and then you can do the real thing after dinner.
That sounds lovely. I'll do that until dinner.
Alright. And so I just want to take some time, going through... I don't know. I guess just brush. Do I have any kind of old... I don't know what I would have taken from home, but sort of brushing up and reflecting on kind of what the information that I learned from Vito about my warhorn. Sort of thinking through. Not that there's any kind of game mechanics or anything, but I just want to sort of that's what I'm doing now is kind of thinking about that in my downtime.
Okay. Anybody else?
I want to go up to the library, and we do have a library, I assume.
You do.
I see.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's a big one, isn't it?
It's a pretty big one. It's a pretty big one.
Okay. I want to go up to our big library and see if I can find any books about, ghosties and other things like that.
Okay. So why don't you just make a general intelligence check? No, investigation check.
I just have money in my dice bag. That's always exciting.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Why don't you give me a history check, please? With advantage.
Oh. 17.
Okay. Anyone?
I only got a 10.
10. You spend some time looking around through the books, and it seems as if there were a lot of books about the kind of schools of magic and history, and in the time that it takes to get ready for dinner, you're not able to find anything that's like kind of undead or ghosty, but you look around once you're finished, you're exhausted, you've been doing a lot of reading, and there's a lot of books and languages you don't even speak, and so you're like, you see there's tons of books left, so you may need to put some more time back into it. Rodek, you kind of think back on your history and your horn and kind of what Vito had told you, and you start to make a few connections about the requirements, the bloodline requirements, and you're starting to kind of piece a few things that the hunches, you're starting to get a few hunches and that, a few hunches and kind of which family, which clan would be responsible for that. So, anybody else? Okay. So you all probably take, a couple hours to get ready. And you, Sylvie, you're resting. Vandus, you're really thinking about your disguise. It's going to be a good one. And dinner is served. As soon as you enter the banquet hall, Gus is the first one there. He's wearing an even finer outfit than the last time you saw him. He said, "Dinner is served. I hope you like grouper, because we got grouper on the menu tonight." And these servants come out with these large trays, platters, silver platters with lids on it, and they all seat you and reveal a lavish fish dinner with vegetables and this beautiful bread. And if you would care to, you dig in, and it tastes delicious, and it's you are living the high life. It tastes even better than the food that you got at the Wit and Whimsy, which was the hotel at in Noble Gardens. So it's pretty good. And you see a servant go down towards the basement, and Gus points and says, "Oh, he's bringing that to your friend like you asked him."
Sylvie comes down to dinner, probably last, dressed as Mrs. Claus. And she says nothing about it, but she sits down, her little red velvet hat with the fur line, and she looks incredibly warm as she begins to eat her grouper.
"Well, I suppose winter is coming in.
Her little spectacles.
It will get a bit chilly around here. I guess that's a good dinner outfit too."
Oh, you like my dress?
Yeah, no, I do. It's like your winter's almost here, so you're preparing early.
Yeah, sure.
It's getting chilly.
And she just keeps eating.
Okay.
Did you just have that lying around up there?
What? No, my hat. I can disguise myself however I want.
Wearing a hat at dinner?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
I wear a hat all the time.
Were you born in a barn?
No, I was born in a swamp. Why?
Oh, never mind. I don't know why I asked. Does this feel like too nice to anyone else? I almost feel I have like this thing called imposter syndrome. It feels like.
No, I don't feel that way at all. But Winterholm's named Chateau Sylvie, and my name is Sylvie. It makes sense that I would feel right at home here.
Right, it is.
I gotta be honest, this is the nicest I've ever lived, and quite frankly, I don't ever have to look back to bounty hunting ever again. I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
Well, we should feel fortunate. We went through a lot to do this, but I'm going to enjoy it at least while it lasts. Well, I shouldn't say while it lasts. Rodek knocks on wood.
Wow,
But
you're
I
being
will
really
say-
dark all of a sudden.
Well, I'm just trying to be grounded in that we could potentially be leaving Gullhaven within, the next few days.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with our home? We can always.
We can always come back.
Right.
Great minds.
My point is I'm going to enjoy it while I'm here. That's all I'm saying.
Well, that's lovely. How about you just eat in silence?
Rurik eats in silence for the rest of the dinner.
Boy, I love these family dinners.
It's shocking.
Just like Mom and
Sylvie
Dad
says
used
to
be.
you and her Mrs. Claus, get up.
It's shockingly even more of an awkward dinner than your lunch with Reeve.
If I had $1 for every time I heard someone say, Avantris, shut up and eat your vegetables, I'd be rich.
If it hadn't happened already, and I forget, Reeve's fingernails had arrived for you, Sylvie. I think we did that last session.
Oh.
Yeah, I have a pouch of them.
Okay, good. I thought I had done that, but his clipped fingernails. Yeah, it's in your bag.
Well,
I take one out and use it as a toothpick. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, so you enjoy your dinner, and it's probably about 7 at night at this point. 7:30.
Well, I feel like that was a burp, not an almost puke, just so you knew. It's always complimentary to the chef to burp after you eat in the swamp. At this point, I think it's probably going to take us about an hour to get to that place that we're going. I don't remember its name. It's unimportant. I'm ready to go. I dressed before dinner. I know that Avantris needs to get into his outfit, and then we should be ready to head on out, right?
Yeah, fine with that. Yeah.
Well, then why don't you go get changed? Well, hopefully Seamus will be back soon. And then we'll just...
Hey, Seamus! Over.
Give me this there.
Yeah?
Hey, Seamus, can you meet us at that place that we were talking about going to with that jerk guy? Over.
I assume you mean the Monami, sure.
Yeah, the one with the sluts. Okay, bye. Over. Oh, and the gambling. Over. Oh, bye.
I got it.
Thanks, Seamus.
How
Bye.
long? How long?
Oh, like an hour. Over. Bye.
Okay, I'll be there.
Okay, got it
Over.
taken care of.
Over. Is that what you're...
Yeah, you're doing great. Over. Bye. God,
He
you're great.
puts it away. You stop hearing from him.
All right.
All right. I'm gonna roll some dice now.
Okay?
So what do I need to roll here as far as I have advantage, correct?
So
Is
you
it
have
like a
advantage.
performance check or is it just
It is just a dex check
proficiency?
plus proficiency.
All right, so +8.
Yes.
All right. And a good thing, worst comes to worst, I'm feeling lucky.
Oh, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Oh, thank you for the
Thank you for following
follow.
side quest.
Thank you, side quest.
Thank you so
Welcome.
much.
Welcome to the Avantris fam.
Kelsey can come double check
You
it.
got a
Don't
natty
believe
20.
me. I got a natural 20.
See, I told
So that'll
you.
be 28.
28.
Hey.
I knew
Well-
the moment he put on Orpheus's dad's moldy old pants that he would be so good at this.
You know, I hate to admit it, but I think she's right, and these clothes, armor fits me pretty well. I can't wait to show Orpheus.
Vandris, you stand before your mirror, your disguise kit in front of you. Grand, you have tons of light now. A lot before you could have been in dirty alleys and in small bathrooms. You are
Crocodile skin.
yeah, you are
That's
in
really-
you are in your own master bedroom. Tons of light, a huge mirror. Your disguise is before you. You're wearing the leather armor that glamours, and you apply the disguise, and you look exactly how you're going to describe to us right now.
A son of a gun. Okay, so I think for the clothing, I don't want it to be anything too fancy. Like I don't want to stand out, right?
Okay.
My goal here is to be a middle of the road patron. You know, somebody with a forgettable face. You know, just the old average Joe.
Okay.
I'll remain as an elf for sure.
Okay.
But I don't want to look like Vandris. I want to look like just a plain, maybe. Do something with my hair, like Rodek said, you know, stuff it up under a cap. I don't know if that's weird in a casino / whorehouse. Remain an elf, very bland, but not like ragged or poor, just middle of the road, looking to spend some money at the Mon Ami, have a good night, and send it.
Okay. So yeah, you tie your hair back a little bit, make it look a little bit shorter. And you're able to kind of put some makeup on, and you look the most average high elf that Gullhaven has ever seen. Welcome.
Thank you for
Thank you.
following on
Thank
Torres
you.
X. Really
So
appreciate it.
just to clarify, a lot less handsome than I normally do.
Yes.
Because
So-
Vandris is just too handsome.
Yeah, you put some makeup to put some kind of bags around your eyes, like you've been kind of out gambling or whoring for a long time. Maybe like
It's a good
couple
touch.
days.
I like that.
Yeah, it's like it's people. I'm just kind of now you've described it, but now I'm going to add my flair. It's fine.
So, quick question though about the armor. It's
Yes.
really just what I'm wearing, right? Not what I'm carrying. Like, I'm assuming there are rules against weapons within the Mon Ami.
Yes, it is any armor or clothing.
Okay.
Oh no, the
So I can't
weapons.
just-
You are allowed to bring in weapons, but you know that the Belliver Union are like the goons who are very heavily armored and
Right.
all over the place. They don't even let the sea eagles in there. Like it is.
So,
yeah.
is it out of place though to walk in there with a sword?
No. You actually went there when you joined Matthias.
That's what I
and
thought.
Matthias
That's
saw
what I
your
thought.
rapier there.
All right. So I'm bringing venom's fine.
Yes. Okay.
Guys, I don't know if I can go back there. I'm not able to disguise myself like you guys can. And I know I looked like a whore before, but I also don't know if it's that big of a stretch to just go with myself.
Well, no comment on that first thing. Second,
Zinger!
Second, couldn't you just like put your hood up and just act like an edgy kind of elf?
Like the shadiest elf in the club with
Aye.
my hood up.
Aye.
Well, I mean, the other thing is, I could also just make her invisible, and she could stay next to me, and I can just keep her invisible while we're there. As long as we're not there for more than a couple of hours, we should be fine.
There are plenty of shady people with the motivation.
Or I could polymorph her into a pig. Oh no, a pig wouldn't really work with my outfit. Oh, I could polymorph her into a penguin.
Have you seen one of those before?
Well, I saw a drawing of one in a book once. It has a very large head with 2 gigantic ears, tusks coming out of its mouth. It's wearing a tuxedo, and it's got a squared off body with like duck feet
That's
and a paddle tail.
Uh,
Well, when I say I saw a drawing of it in the book, I drew one in a book once.
oh, you drew a penguin in a book once.
Yeah.
All
Based
right,
on
well,
what I had heard that they
I
looked
like the invisibility one better, just so that she doesn't have the mind of an animal. Have you ever been polymorphed? I'm not sure. Have you? That's a good question. Maybe you should do it on yourself at some point.
Oh, if I do it on myself, I can't carry the animal around, so that's kind of not my goal when I polymorph things.
Would you prefer to be invisible?
I guess so, yeah. I mean, what happens when I'm invisible? Can I, like, touch things? Can I interact with things?
Yeah.
Aye.
So you have to be careful so that, people don't bump into this invisible person and be like, oh, that's not anything there, but I feel boobs.
So I don't become uninvisible if I touch someone?
No.
You only become invisible if you attack or cast a spell.
Yeah. Or if I
or the
drop
time
it.
runs out or for your constriction.
What's considered an attack?
If you cause aggression, if you try to hit somebody, it will be DM fiat if it's kind of on the line.
I'll be invisible. That sounds great.
Okay.
Now, Annulin, I've seen that look in my own eyes before. Please don't try anything tricky around Belliver's money.
I would never.
I'm warning you, this guy is not someone to mess with.
Read me loud and clear.
All right.
Now we shouldn't keep Seamus waiting, so let's proceed.
Okay.
Okay.
Here we go.
Well, I'm glad that we all look very inconspicuous because I was worried about Avantris' disguise. But it looks
Why?
great. Well, I obviously dressed up like a pirate's wife, so I'm going to fit in perfectly when we go inside. But you have had some really unconvincing disguises, and I'm impressed that this one is convincing.
What? Why is this the first time hearing about this?
What do you mean? I mean,
What do
your
you mean,
disguises-
what do I mean?
I mean-
My disguises have been great.
Yes, yeah, no, I meant Rodek's disguises. He disguised himself up once and tried to play Jenga with me.
Right. That's exactly what happened.
But
If
he
my
tried to dress
disguises
up.
were bad, why wouldn't you just be honest with me? It could have saved us a lot of headache.
I don't know.
I thought that the Groucho Marx mustache could have done the trick. I didn't realize it was terrible. I don't really have
You
the
guys
eye.
talk about trust problems. This is why we fight all the time. Because nobody's honest with anybody. If you just told me I was bad at disguising myself, we probably could have prevented a lot of problems.
Well, now you're good at it. You look wonderful. I can even tell that you're Avantris right now.
Let's just go. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Good, because neither do I.
Okay. You leave your manor. Gus bids you farewell as you leave, and he says that they'll be staff up 24/7. So if you arrive late, they'll be ready to wait on you, whatever you need. So you leave. You make your way through Noble Garden, down the long road to the main street of Goldhaven, and you make your way to the Dionysian district, hemisphere rather, and you eventually make your way through the streets And once you kind of get into the Dionysian Hemisphere district, you start to see kind of the party vibe has returned as well. It's not just kind of that jubilation celebration. People are out, they're drinking, they're in the streets, they're hugging, they're singing. You hear music coming from all the different establishments, the relative whorehouses, the bars, the lounges, the fancier restaurants, and not so fancy restaurants. And you eventually arrive at the Mon Ami. The elaborate sign is embossed in the wood above you.
So before we go in, I'm going to turn to Annulin.
Okay, so I'm gonna touch you right now, and then you're gonna go invisible. We won't be able to see you. I won't be able to see you. You can walkie-talkie us. Please don't do anything stupid. And that's a lot coming from me, so yeah, that.
And then I'm going to cast invisibility on her.
Wait.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're invisible now.
You are invisible.
Wait, can they hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You're
I don't
only
have my
invisible.
walkie-talkie. I just wanted to point that out.
Why? Where is it?
I gave it away to somebody. I don't remember who.
Oh, Ratley has it in the... Yeah.
No, did we take it from Ratley?
No.
No.
We didn't?
No.
We're down to 3.
And then we gave Ganges to Seamus, so yeah, we're down to 3.
No, we gave Ganges to... Oh, we did give Ganges to Seamus.
And we left Ratley's. That's
No,
how
why
we
wouldn't-
communicated.
Well,
That's how I went, hey Ratley, just curious, how does all of these men on this boat work, because we're going to give the boat away?
I thought we got it back. Did we get it back? Do you
No.
remember?
No.
So the issue is that we definitely talked to him
Thank
while we
you.
were on the island.
Austin.
Thank you.
The issue is that Sylvie's right, or Nikki's right about us talking to Ratley while we were not on the island, for sure. That definitely happened.
Oh, like while we were on the boat after.
Yeah.
No,
Oh.
like once we were in Gullhaven, when we were giving the boat to
Oh, you're
Amiria,
right.
I contacted
We'll just
him.
say for now, if I can go back and track
No,
it,
you're right,
and
you're right,
we'll
100%.
comment if not, but it's fine. We'll say you left it with Ratley if that's what you remember. Fine.
Well, okay, so we'll do
That's
that.
why Annual had to give hers to Seamus.
Yeah.
We only had 4
Yeah.
because we left the island with 4.
Yep.
Okay, so this is what we'll do. I'm gonna give you my walkie-talkie. So I'm gonna hold my hand out with it, and wherever your invisible hand is, you just take it from me. Okay, do that. Take it.
I'm gonna run around behind her and tap her on her back.
Ah! Oh my god, there's someone else invisible here. Annulin, hide. There are 2 of them. Annulin, take it.
Shite!
Oh my god, take
Are you
it before
serious?
Maniac giggling comes from the corner.
Oh my god, you trickster. Just take my damn walkie-talkie.
Okay.
So I give her my walkie-talkie.
Okay, and then, so this is what's gonna have to happen. I don't like you very much in most cases, Rodek, because you can be a little bit of a buzzkill. But I want you to hold my hand and pretend like I'm interested in you, because maybe you have a lot of money or something. Okay?
And is hand holding the way to evoke that?
Well, I'm just worried. Well, because you're short and I'm short. Well, you're tall compared to me, but you're short compared to Avantris. So it would make more sense that you were holding my hand than, even though he looks kind of gross in that outfit, it still makes more sense that you would hold my hand. And then that way,
All
no
right.
one can just take me. Because what if someone took me?
Oh,
And then
that's
I don't
true.
have my thing. So we just kind of keep each other close. And you
Alright.
treat me like I'm your hooker or something.
And then once all of you go in, I'm gonna wait 5 minutes. I'm gonna find a spot where I can keep my eyes on all of you, and I'm gonna stay back in the crowd so no one can see me.
Yeah, so he can do recognizance.
Alright.
And then you just keep me near you so that nobody
We'll stay
takes
together.
me.
Do I see Seamus around?
You wait about like 3 minutes, and Seamus turns around the corner. He's wearing his broad-brimmed hat. His collar's up. He's wearing his coat. He's looking a little bit serious as he steps up to you, and he says, "Well, don't you look like the motley bunch?
Yeah.
Seamus?
I assume that's you, Avantris."
Haha! See, I'm getting better at this. Apparently I wasn't good at disguising myself before. This is news to me.
Did they finally tell you?
I guess. It's like son of a gun. I wish you had told me something earlier, Seamus. Jeez.
I mean, you were so into your disguises, and I didn't want to break your little heart, you know.
Well, okay.
Just thought it was a tool I had in my arsenal.
Leandros, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think you realize how attractive you are, and that's very hard to disguise when someone is that severely attractive. So you have to understand, you're not bad at disguise kits because an average attractive level person would easily be able to disguise themselves with the skill you had. You were just too attractive for the skill that you had.
You're too kind. Really, really. I appreciate it. That means a lot.
That's the truth, though. I mean, hi, elves, but...
Well, whatever reason it was, I'm sorry I didn't tell you. I even blackmailed Demiria to not tell you that your disguises were horrible.
I'm
And everyone
shocked
else-
she didn't say anything.
Yeah, no, it's because I was blackmailing her, so you're welcome.
Is that a good thing that you did that? Or?
It's less blackmail, more like, kind of tit for tat sort of thing.
We should head in.
Let's go.
I told the gang that if you all want to head in, or at least the three of them want to head in, and then you and I can trickle in afterwards. My plan is to stay in the back towards the crowd, and just keep an eye on everything that's going on, so we can be there just in case.
Now, Seamus, do you...
We need to hurry because I've already cast invisibility and it's only an hour, so hey.
Alright, real quick, so are you comfortable with you going up and asking Leon, hey, remember that tip you gave?
No, I'm gonna stay out of sight. I'm gonna stay out of Belliver's sight like I always do.
So I'm just wondering, how would I get that information out of him? What could I use to kind of vaguely refer to that job? Do you remember, like, did he call it something? Do you remember the name of that guy?
What was his name?
It was a kind of a big event. I mean, I'm sure, what happened in the Kench was a big deal, at least to the denizens of the Kench. I'm sure that you could drop hints about it. I don't remember the guy's name because I never received it from the DM. But nevertheless, it was kind of a big deal.
King.
All right.
Well, that was it, of course. How could I have forgotten?
Oh, so what if you said something along the lines of you've been in contact with some people and we were thinking of we were buying it, maybe we're a couple, and we were buying that home, but we had heard tales of something happening with that guy, and we wanted to see if he knew where we could hire someone to scout the area for us to see if the home's worth purchasing, because we're going to drop a huge sum.
And we heard on the street that's where Cain lived or was holding up, and that something went down, and someone died in that house. And they have, if you're a realtor or you're selling a house, you have to disclose if someone died in the house.
Oh my god, that's a good one.
And just to note, if this takes longer than an hour, you get out of the Mona Me.
Or
just
you
leave.
come to me and I'll have Rodex say the words, Tutti Frutti. That's your nickname for me. I'm your Tutti Frutti, okay? But you won't actually say
hold on.
it.
What's your name though?
Okay, I'm going in, and Seamus.
Okay, Seamus, bye. My name is Julia. I think that's a good name, right? It's a good,
That's fine.
like, inconspicuous
Right?
name, Julia?
Julia, that's fine.
Okay, so I'm Julia, and you'll call me your Tutti Frutti only if an hour starts to pass. And then Annulin will know to come to me, put her hand on my shoulder, and then I'll cast invisibility again. And that's it. I'm tapped out after that.
Alright.
Okay?
Alright, that's fine by me.
We'll make sure that it's Annulin before you do it. What if someone taps you on the shoulder to ask for a drink?
Oh my god, what if it's the other invisible person that was here? Oh wait, that was Annulin. She was a trooper.
That was Annulin.
Well, I think that's fine. I think that I'll just glance over and make sure I don't see a hand on my shoulder before I cast it.
Alright,
Okay.
Julia, shall we go in?
Sure, what's your name?
My name's Rodek. I'm not disguised at all, and
Yeah, I guess
there's
that's
a big
true.
ceremony, so
Yeah.
that's going to be our
Sure.
lead-in. Is that now that I'm well known, I want to buy some property in the area and
For the new lady.
for the new lady.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. You all enter. Even invisible Annulin, you need to make a stealth check at advantage, please. Real quick.
9 plus 16. What was that, 25?
25. Okay. So you're being very stealthy as you follow the group in. I guess Vandris is waiting. You make your way into the Mon Ami, the casino, and you kind of see the same throng of activity. There's table games as far as you can see. And you remember the upstairs where you met Matthias, with the kind of hallways going off and all of the ladies with their cleavage out, very scantily clad, waving down to all of the guys gambling and drinking. You see Seamus standing kind of just he's already got himself a thing of ale, and he's just kind of drinking it, staring down directly at it, looking relatively inconspicuous. And what are you guys going to do?
Did we lose Skype? Oh, there we go.
For a second, I can still see you guys.
Yeah, we're good. Shall we go in? I believe we can go in. So I'll grab Sylvie. I'll grab Julia's hand, and I will walk in.
Okay.
Oh, Rhoda, what a strange place
Your
to
voice changed just a little different.
Oh, Rhoda, what a strange place to take a new girlfriend.
All right, come on.
Okay.
We go in, and I guess I look around for Leon first, but I don't go to him.
Okay. You look around. Make a perception check for me. How about? There's a lot of people here. There's a lot of people here celebrating, gambling.
17.
17. You see Leon at a dice table, running it. He seems to he's twitching occasionally kind of scratching his neck. His eyes are incredibly bloodshot, and but he kind of seems to be keeping himself focused on the gamblers around him. He's pushing around chips, and he's calling out as people are rolling dice.
All right. I'm gonna go up just to the bar and get a drink.
Okay.
And just kind of keep watching Leon.
Okay. You get a drink of whatever you prefer, and Seamus kind of just slides up next to you and says, "So there he is. What's the plan here?"
So I'm gonna go up and talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
Just by looking at him, how high do you suppose he is?
Right now. He very casually glances over. He scans the entire casino, and then he kind of just lingers a little bit on Leon, and then goes back. And on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say he's at least a 7.5.
That should do. I look around for Belliver.
Okay.
Real quick. Do you want me to roll?
Make a perception check, please.
Oh, not as good. A 9.
You do a similar kind of deal. You scan around, you can't see him.
Have you seen Belliver yet?
No, I just got here and he's nowhere to be seen.
And is he usually walking around at his place? I believe last time we were here he was.
He walks around, from my understanding, quite a bit. But if there ain't no reason, if there ain't any whales, and I don't know what he's doing. He has business back in his office, so who knows where he is, though.
All right. Well, perhaps just have a drink, and I think I may go gamble in 1 minute. I get up.
Go ahead.
I grab your hand. I take you to...
Wow, that's a lovely grip you got there, Rhoda.
Is this your new voice?
Yes.
I want to get somewhere where it's like it would be obvious and no one's like listening to us.
Okay.
Or just somewhere a little private.
Okay. You both of you make a general stealth check, just to kind of be like quiet. And Sylvia, you need to make a performance check.
My stealth is 20. My performance is 26.
What am I doing?
You're making a stealth check.
Oh, thank God. 21.
Okay. So you all get a place where you can kind of be inconspicuous and talk up to yourselves.
While I'm at the dice table, would you be able to...
Well, I'm staying with you,
I
Rhoda.
know you're staying with you, but would it be weird? So how about this? What I need you to do is I need you to take this, and I get past with the sending stone, the Rocky Talkie. If you can use this, or have... I wanted to tell either you or Annual, I want to look around the place for Belliver. And so if...
I can do it, I'm invisible.
Oh, you're here. Oh, I didn't realize where you were.
Hey guys.
So how about this? Let me take this back.
Yeah.
If you see him, you either tap me on the shoulder 3 times, very hard, or you use this and I'll hear you. And I'll change this subject very quickly, alright?
Okay.
If you see him start to approach me, if he's walking around and ignoring me, that's fine. But if he starts to approach this table over there, and I'm saying this very kind of quietly and just sort of as if I'm talking to Sylvie, just make sure to warn me.
Okay.
Alright, shall we?
Yes.
Let's roll some dice! And I grab her and I say that loudly and I walk up to the...
What a strong boyfriend
And
I
I
have.
have been walked in at this point and just like find a seat by the bar maybe and like just be watching.
Yep, can you just give me a general stealth check to see how inconspicuous you're being?
Sure.
Okay, you arrive at the table. This is a game, and there's a little kind of card that says Bone Rattle on it. And as soon as you walk up, you see Leon kind of scratch his patchy beard, his patchy orange beard, says, we got a new roller. And yeah, how much gold how many chips you want?
What's the minimum?
Well, it's 25 gold buy.
Alright. There you are. I slap the gold on it.
Every round.
Oh, every round.
Every round.
Oh, alright. Then just give
You're
me...
gonna need more chips than that.
Give me 200 gold worth of chips.
Okay. You give him 2.
I rolled a 25, just so you know.
Okay, 25. You're very inconspicuous. No one has any idea. No one's looking at you. You're blending in, and so you're people watching. Rodek. And so all players roll 2d6. So this is 25. New round. Hot dice.
All right.
Oh, good luck, Rodak.
Ooh. 3 and a 1.
3 and a 1. Nope, no win. You can, however, basically you have to hit 7 or 12. So wait, 7 or 12, 3 and a 1. So you have to hit 7 or 12 to double your bet.
Okay.
Or after the first roll, you can double your ante and add additional d6 to your roll.
So I can double my ante?
You can double your ante, put in 50 total, and then add another d6, and hope you hit 7.
I thought we paid 200.
200 just for the in chips.
Oh, gotcha.
And so
gotcha.
each round is
It's a buy-in.
Yeah.
Well, it's not fun if you don't win anything.
Any double
What
or
are you
nothing.
blowing my dice for? And I put in 25 more chips.
Okay.
3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, wait, 3. Yeah, 4, 5, 6.
Better luck next time, and then he pulls in all of the chips.
Right.
You see a couple people next to you like, oh, I won! And then they double their ante, and
You only
they
put
double
in
their
50 in chips. We still have more to go, right?
So I'll put in another, and
Okay.
I'll roll again, and like we'll do this. That's 6. I'm good.
A wise man once said, "Scared money don't make money."
he pulls in another one of your
Yeah.
chips with 75 gold on this. Okay, hot dice. What do we got?
All right, so friend, I rolled again. I'm gonna roll another.
12. You did it,
It's
baby.
12. I got a
you
12.
did
And I
it.
doubled
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
All
You
right.
did it, baby.
Yeah.
So
So you get 100 gold back.
Oh, yay, look at that. We're only down half our money.
You get 100 gold back. And he says, oh, we have a big winner.
All right. So, and
That's
for the
gonna
sake
go
of this, can we just
Yeah.
say that we're
That can
playing?
go straight towards the house.
Oh, that's funny. You should mention that. The house. We need to figure out where we're going to buy some property.
Oh, I thought we already knew, baby.
Well,
We just have to find someone that can scope out the place and
Well,
find out the nefarious. We shouldn't talk about this while we're gambling.
Oh, you're right. It'd be nice to know someone that knew the Kench quite well. You know, I would pay them handsomely for sure.
Yeah, well, we're not going to find people like that in a place like this. They're not the kind of people with money to blow on tables.
I suppose that's right. Let's keep gambling. And I guess I'll probably for another few minutes.
You gamble, and Leon catches ear of that, and he said, well, I don't know what people with the money be doing buying a place in the Kents, but I wouldn't live there if I didn't have to. And he's kind of...
Oh, obviously I'm not from around here. Why do you say that? Is it a bad part to trade?
It ain't
Yeah,
good property.
we were-
I don't know what you're buying there, but it ain't good property, no.
As you probably aware, I have the mansion up the way, but it gets a little crowded with all of us. So we were thinking of just a little getaway within the city if we wanted to kind of have some privacy away from town, something very cheap. Just sort of
I don't know who you are. I don't know why you want to get a place in the kitchen. He's kind of rolling dice, and this is in between rounds, so we'll say.
Yeah.
For this, I'm just going to need you to roll. Why don't you just roll, like... Just do that, like, 3 times.
7.
7, okay. Another time.
6.
Okay.
I'll add 1.
Okay.
12.
12, okay. Another time. One more time.
Holy shit!
Money, no whammies.
Oh, hold on. I fucked that up because I rolled 3.
So it would have been 2.
Would have been 2. It's fine.
6, 7,
That's
8.
10.
That's 10. Fuck it. No.
I'll say you bought in for 200. I'll just say after all of that you leave with 300.
Okay.
Okay. So you leave with 300 after those two wins, and anyways, I don't know who you are, Fran, but I wouldn't buy no place in the camp. No.
What's so dangerous about it?
A lot of bad people there. I only live there because I have to.
Well, do you? Oh, so you live in the Kench?
Oh yeah, no, unfortunately, no.
I don't think we're worried about the people.
You got a lot of money? Because I should tell Mr. Belliver if you got a lot of money.
Oh no, I don't necessarily have a ton of money, but perhaps if you could help me learn a little more about the Kench, I'd certainly compensate you decently.
Oh, and his eyes like light up. You get the sense that he is doped out of his mind at this point. Like he is kind of, his eyes are glossed over. He shouldn't be probably talking like this to somebody, being that blunt and frank. But you've actually had a number of conversations with Leon. He seems to keep forgetting you every time you talk to him. And but you he's glossed over, and so he says, I swap out, and I gotta go on break and take care of something in about 5 minutes, friend. So no, we'll talk. If you got something you can help me out with, yep, that'd be great.
Oh, where should I meet you?
Just meet me by the bar. We have a conversation, friend. It's fine.
All right, I'll see you in 5 minutes.
Okay. And so we'll just say you continue rolling dice, and he keeps doing it. A very tall, kind of burly gentleman taps him out, and he swaps in. And Leon looks very inconspicuously and just walks over to the bar, and he just sits there waiting.
So I get up.
I'm gonna follow him over there.
Okay.
And have I just during that process have been walking around a little bit. Have I seen Belliver anywhere?
Why don't you make a perception check for me, and we'll have that be standard throughout this whole encounter.
I want to kind of roll dice for at least like 5 more minutes.
Okay.
With the new guy, with the new dealer.
Yeah.
And then
just do one more for me then.
Okay.
And this will just count.
I got a 19.
19. Okay. You're scanning the crowd.
Ooh.
11.
I think I'm gonna walk away.
Okay.
So
just subtract 25. 25 from that. Okay. So you do one more time, and so that's that. And you head back to the bar. Leon's kind of standing there. He's scratching.
So you know about the Kench?
Oh yeah, no, I know about the Kench. Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna take out 100 gold.
Okay.
And put, I guess, is 100 gold like 100 pieces of gold?
It's a lot of gold. Yeah. It'd be a pouch.
So I want to.
Remember that you guys are like really, really rich.
Oh,
right. So I just want to see like physically how would it? I guess I want to take out like. I want to take a pouch of like, let's say. I make a quick pouch of like 50 gold.
Okay.
25 gold.
Yeah.
25 gold. Friend, this 25 gold, this is yours, and this is yours no matter what. And if you want to help me out, there's 3 more pouches that big, waiting for you.
Make a persuasion check with advantage. His eyes light up when he sees it.
Oh, that's good. 19.
He looks around and he says, "I don't think Mr. Belliver's coming out. So no, it's fine. I'll take that. What do you want to know, friend?" And he pulls the pouch and immediately just shoves it in his pocket.
We're looking for information.
Well, I think it's important that we tell you that this is all very hush-hush. I'm the new girlfriend of this lovely dwarf here, and we're trying to keep it on down low. I get a little bit jealous. No, and this house is for us, for our privacy, you see.
Right, this is, just for us, and so if you just wouldn't mind telling anyone, including your boss or anyone else. Now that
you see it start to click in
and
his,
with
in
my
his
high
mind, it is-
profile.
I got you, friend. I got you. I know we don't ask no questions around here, no friend.
All right. Well, I guess the first question is: we found quite an affordable piece of property that we think we could get very cheaply with my connections, and we've heard some rumors that something went down there a few years ago.
What place is this?
A man named Kane used to live there. Do you happen to know the man? Or he was holed up there or something?
Well, and I heard, now I don't know if this is true, but I heard a girl died there too.
My turn.
His face goes ghost white. His eyes that kind of seem to gloss over, kind of snap into attention a little bit, and he immediately goes, I don't know. I don't know nothing about no Caden place. No, I don't know Abner. No, I never knew Abner. No, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, friend.
You say Abner?
No, I
Abner.
don't think he did. I think he said
Abner?
he doesn't know.
You said you didn't know Abner, but I just said the name Kane. Does that mean you...
Well, friend, I don't know what you're talking about, but I don't know what went down there. Who knows?
Was it really...
Well, that's unfortunate. I think we're gonna have to find someone who has more information to give this gold to. Because I don't know about you, and I guess if you haven't heard of it, I'm not afraid of no ghosts. I just like to know what I'm getting into before I lay down some roots with someone I love oh so much.
That's right.
So, if he doesn't know, and if he can't partake in our gold to help us figure out what's going on in this home, then I guess we gotta look for someone who does.
And I put, like, another bag of coins. I kind
His
of
eyes sap to it, kind of return, and he kind of scratching his patch beard. And he's like, well, make a persuasion check.
Can I, since I've got my hand
15.
on him, can I, like, do, like, little dances to the music to give him some bardic inspiration?
Sure.
So you have a...
For that roll?
That's what I'm trying to do, yeah.
21.
21. He seems to be doped out of his mind at this point, and he kind of looks around and he says, how much more of that you got?
You could have 200 more.
His eyes widen a bit. He says, oh, okay, friend. Well, I ain't supposed to talk about this. We should go out back in the alley to where I got my stash, and we can talk then, friend.
All right. And Belliver doesn't know that you go out there, or does he check on you?
He lets me do my thing. He'll just think I'm getting my fix, and he fine with that. He's fine with that.
All right.
No, it's fine.
You leave. I'll join you in about 5 minutes.
Sounds good, friend. Sounds good, friend. And his eyes are kind of lingers on the gold, and then he leaves, goes around to the alley.
Okay. Kind of hang out, drink for 5 minutes, get up.
Well,
No.
before we're walking out there, you better tell everyone where we're going so they can keep an eye on us in case there's some kind of ambush.
Oh, that's a fair point.
Annulin, shortly after Leon leaves around the corner, you see a figure appear above the banister on the top floor. You see that this is very much, you kind of see his gray suit, his very thick gray mustache, and neatly combed hair. This is Silas Belliver.
Is he moving, or is he just kind of watching?
He is surveying he's kind of leaning on the railing, and he's surveying his scene. He kind of looks to have this kind of scowl on his face, and you see his eyes coast down, and they lock down towards the bar. You look back up and forth, and you see that he notices Rodek. He immediately takes his hand off the railing, and he puts on this big smile and starts walking down the stairs, heading toward
I'm gonna immediately Rocky. Oh wait, I'm still standing next. No, I'm walking around. I forget where I am.
You're kind of walking around surveying.
Okay, I'm gonna Rocky. Shut up, Andy. I'm gonna Rocky Talkie Rodak and just quietly whisper into it so no one hears a disembodied voice. He's coming. Belliver's coming.
I immediately stand up. Oh, I could use some fresh air. Would you like to join me?
Oh, yes, please.
And
It's stuffy in here.
I grab Sylvie's hand, and I basically walk, turning, try to just completely avoid eye contact with everybody because I don't really know where he is.
Let's go out the front, and I kind of give you a wink.
Oh yeah. So we're going to go out the front door.
Are you gonna try to like duck around people and like try to like weave through people, or
Yeah, because we're kind of shorter.
can you both make a stealth check for me?
I would have heard the Rocky Talkie in my
would've.
head, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then I'm aware of what's happening, but I'm gonna stay put.
I'm gonna make my way towards Belliver.
12.
11.
What are you gonna do, Anion?
Make my way towards Belliver.
Okay. So as they're leaving, you see that his eyes are kind of glued on Rodek, as they are not really able to kind of duck into the crowd as they head towards the door. And he's just walking down. He reaches the landing, and he starts kind of striding over. And you kind of see that he's kind of putting a little bit of pep in his step. Okay.
So we're just trying to get outside before he can reach us.
Okay. Okay.
How close is he to them?
What was that?
How close is he? Like, is he gaining on them, or like?
He's like walking. He's making pretty far strides. You get the sense that he may catch up, unperturbed.
I'm gonna, like, as he's walking past people. What are you doing? As he's walking past, I'm gonna like kind of elbow someone holding a drink and try and get it to spill on him.
Okay, make a dex check for me.
Remind me how this not saving throw.
So
add
just
5.
Add 5.
I got an 8.
8. So you're able to nudge someone, and you kind of you're trying to kind of get him to actually roll a contest. Okay, and you're trying to kind of nudge his arm out of the way, and unfortunately the drink isn't budging, and he continues to walk past this person holding a glass of whiskey and ice, and he kind of he closes in a little bit, and both of you hear, Rodek Stonehearth, big hero in my establishment, to what do I owe the pleasure?
You're Mr. Belliver, aren't you?
That's what they call me around here. You turn around, he's got kind of these deep dark bags under his eyes. He's chomping on a cigar as he's looking at you with his three-piece suit. The vest has got chains going into his pockets. What do I owe the pleasure? You leaving so soon?
Oh no, we're not leaving. We're just getting some fresh air. We've been here quite a while, had quite a few drinks. Lost some money at the dice tables, and
There's more games than just bone rattle.
Well, what's your favorite? Do you have a recommendation?
That's one of my favorite. I also like Krakens and Anchors.
Krakens and Anchors. Is that right over there? And I just point. It's something that looks like Krakens and Anchors.
Right over there. I can
Oh.
teach you how to play if you care to spend some more money.
Oh, I certainly will. I'll certainly be back.
And who is this enchanting gem? And he kind of steps forward a little bit, and his crocodile smile is still on as he looks at you.
Oh, well.
Um,
Do introduce me,
This is
darling.
my friend Julia.
Okay, a friend. Well, if you need additional friends, we got more upstairs.
Oh, don't say that to
no,
him.
this is the only one that I need. No, she's my.
I'm gonna start like
sweetheart.
whimpering and crying a little bit, like,
Oh, I'm so
Okay,
sorry,
no,
baby. The jealousy
pardon me.
overtakes
I
me, the jealousy.
never mean to assume, but we have the finest girl in all Gohaven.
Oh, and I've heard, and if situations were different, I certainly would.
I can't believe you say that in front of me.
I don't mean anything by it. I just mean, that.
I told you, baby, I needed to go outside from Sportsmare. This place is just
Oh,
getting
I'm
to
sorry. I'll be right back. Let me just take care of her. I upset her. I'm sorry. I will be right back.
Okay, I'll be waiting right
Krakens
here for
and
you
Anchors.
to enjoy some games of chance.
Oh, I
Make a
will.
deception check for me, both of you.
19.
Deception. 15.
15. Okay. He kind of looks and he can kind of see, he grits his teeth a little bit, looking like, bucked up, and he kind of tilts his head and he says, Oh, I'll be waiting right here. No worries. Old Belliver's here to help you spend your coin and enjoy all of the enjoyments we have here at the moment. Take your time. And he wanders back over to, kind of starts walking, and you can kind of see as he turns, the two of you're watching him, he turns, and as soon as he turns away from them, his smile completely fades. He's scowling, and he walks. He's kind of walking the scene, looking at all the staff. And there's a dealer kind of dealing cards, and you can go and you see that he's yelling at them. So you two are outside of the Mon Ami, and you walk around and zip behind.
No. So the moment we get outside, I'm gonna have him mount the broomstick with me.
Okay.
And we're going to like. Well, we can walk away into like an alley. We'll mount it and then kind of like fly around and get back to it in a strange way to make it a lot harder for anyone to track us.
Okay.
So let's walk away from it.
Okay.
And then we'll basically try to sneak up and fly.
And
out
I'll
from
continue like whimpering and crying as if I'm just so sad.
Okay.
Can I sleight of hand the walkie-talkie and talk into it?
Sure, make a sleight of hand check, please. You're very stealthy about it.
And then I just want to like kind of look like I'm mumbling into my drink, but like message them and say, hey, where'd you guys go? Do you need eyes outside? What's going on?
So once I pick it up once we're like kind of far away in an alley. Angelin tipped us off to Belliver. I'm sure you heard, and we're just trying to get away. We'll keep you updated, but Leon's willing to part with some information for some gold, so we'll keep you posted.
All right, I'll stay here, but I won't be able to get to you quickly if you need me.
So no, we'll be in the alley behind the Mon Ami. So position yourself however you choose, but in about 5 minutes we'll be in the alley.
Okay, copy. So in that case, then in 5 minutes-ish, I'm gonna just kind of finish my drink and mosey out of the Mon Ami. And then start to like work my way down the alley silently, and stay within, dashing distance.
Okay. Seamus very, very slightly makes eye contact with you, and gives you a nod, and he kind of turns and starts wandering, and you see him pull up like a rolled piece of tobacco, and some rolled tobacco, and he just walks towards the entrance, and you kind of see that he's gonna try to light it. And go outside. And so you're gonna make your way to the alley now?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you make your way to the alley, you see kind of this strong box that seems to be anchored to behind the Mon Ami. And as you're getting there, you see kind of this puff of smoke. You see a hunched form, the shaggy red orange hair of Leon, and his shaggy beard is kind of hunched over, and he's locking it. And you kind of see this puff of this strange kind of green smoke evaporate in front of him, and he turns to you, and his eyes are even more glossed over than before, very, very bloodshot, and he's just kind of looking at you, and he says, You got any more of that, friend? He's kind of eyeing your pockets.
Can we say that I made just quickly like a couple pouches of 25 gold?
Yeah.
Just
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So I have plenty more right here, and I don't know how many pouches I have on me, but anyway, I have plenty more right here, and I just being around town, I could really use this information. I'm happy to just a simple trade of information.
Okay, well, you keep that coming, and I'll see what I can do, friend.
All right. Well, here, have another, and I give him another 25 gold.
Okay. Just be sure you're tracking, because I'm not.
We're at 50 total.
Okay, cool. So he takes it and he puts it away.
And that was 75.
He didn't take the ones from inside. He said he looked at it and he walked out. So we gave
No,
him
he
the first two.
We gave him two inside.
We'll say it's a 75 for this point,
Okay.
in order to convince him out there. And so he grabs it and he puts it away. And he says, so what do you want to know? Abner Kane, what do you want to know? What do you want to know? Let's hurry before Belliver comes out here.
So what happened in that house? Why is it such a haunted legend in the Kench?
Well, I mean, Belliver didn't tell me. Here, let me put on more appropriate music. Apologies here. I'm gonna put my. We'll just put.
Bum.
Okay, here we go. This works. And he's kind of like wobbling back and forth, and he says, "Well, I don't. Mr. Belliver doesn't tell me much, and he told me never to talk about this. So please don't tell. If you tell him, please don't tell him I told you."
Are you saying Belliver had something to do with it?
Oh no, yeah, he told one of his guys, Abner, poor soul, Abner came to just go hide out at this place at the Kench, and he told him to hide out, and he just wait, and we come fetch him. We kept him, and he brought all the dope he could, and all the dope and booze that he wanted, and he just said to wait, and that's all he needed. And Abner thought it was a good deal. All he had to do was just loaf around, and then he died, and then he ain't never come back. Horrible things happened there. The girl died, and Abner never came back. And he said that Mr. Belliver said that he ran off with his money, but I know Abner, and he wouldn't do that. No.
No. Why would Belliver want him to go there and then claim later that he stole it? They stole money.
I don't know. Sudden, Mr. Belliver just said that all of a sudden he ran off with his gold and stole him. I was the one that was supposed to. I brought him to the place and I told him where to go, and Mr. Belliver said I shouldn't talk about it. And
I give him another 25 gold.
Okay. Make him persuasion check.
Six.
He grabs it and he says, he takes it, and he says, well, I don't know. He says I shouldn't.
I want to sleight of hand and try to use Fey presence to charm him.
Okay. Well, I would say Fey presence is a big thing, but if it charms him, it'll work.
So it's just it was my level 1 warlock thing.
But it creates a huge image of a Fey.
No, it doesn't.
I think it does.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it creates the beguiling presence of the Fae around you, right?
I'm finding it.
It's kind of like features.
Yeah. You can cause each creature in a 10-foot cube from you to make a wisdom saving throw or become charmed or frightened by you until the end of your next turn. That's what it says. So I don't know how this would work, or if it would work.
Okay.
In this situation.
So
because I've never actually used it before.
I'll say for this scenario you can use it.
So he would just make a wisdom save.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't actually say.
Oh, okay.
Details.
So we'll just say you can kind of control it, and you're able to do a sleight of hand, and you kind of shimmer a little bit. He has no fucking idea because he rolled a natural 1.
And I just look at him and I go,
I know this is scary for you, but you have to understand that it's scary for me too. I love this man, and I want to spend all the time that I can with him, but we can't very well buy that place if we don't know what happened there.
Make a persuasion with advantage.
26.
26. His eyes kind of gloss over, and he looks at you like he even looks even more high as he's looking at you with kind of like this fondness, and is he's kind of like hanging on all of your words, and he says, "Well, I guess you ain't gonna tell nobody you got me a lot of gold." Well, Belliver said it has something to do with getting a real special girl for Alphonse, Mr. LeBlanc. And he said me never tell anyone, or he would run me through, and he would run me through after torturing me for at least 2 weeks.
So I'm gonna. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm gonna look at him and I'm gonna say,
Well, I'm not sure what all that means, but can you promise me that it's not haunted? And I promise you, regardless, I will never, ever, ever tell anyone what you've told us.
Well, I can't promise it's haunted because I heard some of my friends down there that kind of saw the place when it was happening said that they swear they saw ghosts and ghouls and horrible things coming out there. So I don't know what happened, but all I know is Abner ain't never come back, and Belliver was mighty happy. He was. I almost think I saw him smile genuinely for once.
Well, Alphonse LeBlanc, he's a very powerful man in this city, and he's treated us very well. Do you know who was this special girl that he wanted so bad?
Oh, I ain't told that much. I was told I normally bring him his girls. You know, I normally bring him the girls he likes, and he don't really care what they look like as long as their preference is they don't got no family or kin or many friends in town, and that's it. And so I don't know why this one was special. I ain't gotten told that much.
I take another 25 gold, and I grab his hand, I put it in there.
Okay.
What does he do with these girls?
He's still charmed, right? Make a persuasion check with advantage.
He would not be charmed anymore.
Oh, he wouldn't?
It's only till the end of my next turn, so it'd be the next time I talk to him. So I ended by convincing him that we're not going to tell him.
Okay. I would say that 6 seconds, and that's fine. Okay, so you need to make a persuasion, not with advantage. 17. So he says, he kind of pauses for a little bit, and he looks a little bit scared, and he says, I don't know, honestly, friend, but Mr. Belliver says I shouldn't talk about it, and all I know is I gotta find new girls all the time, and those ones don't come back neither.
Well,
I'm going to kind of look at you and kind of give you a look of, I think that's all we're going to get here. And I'm going to look at him, I'm going to say,
well, I know that we gave you quite a hefty sum, and I think I know what you're going to use that on.
No, I do. The U-Long they got some good stuff.
You look scared of Mr. Belliver. So I have to say that if you ever need help, you just let Rodek know, and we'll see what we can do to help you. We don't want nothing bad to happen to you, and we sure as heck ain't gonna be the ones to say anything, but just know, if you need anything, you need help, if your life is on the line, you let us know, okay?
I want to stay out of trouble. I just want to stay low, but I got a lot of gold pieces, and I thank you, mighty kindly thank you for that gold.
If I gave you 100 more,
which you won't.
Is there anything else you might want to tell us about that house or the girls? We're just very concerned shoppers right now, and I'm feeling we should stay away from that house, but I'm not sure if that girl even made it out of the house. You think she's the one haunting the house?
I don't know that that's it, friend. But all I know is that they was Mr. Belliver had some people out there making renovations on the place before I sent old Abner out there.
Well, that is, you have given us more than we could ask for, and I think we might actually have to take your advice and not purchase that place. I thank you so much.
And I want to reach out, see if he'll give me his hands, and I just kind of want to, clap his hands.
Thank you so much for convincing us otherwise, because we could have made the biggest mistake of our future together.
No, I don't. I only live in the camps because I have to. So you don't want to buy no property there, and please don't tell Mr. Belliver. I'm just trying to stay out of trouble and stay alive. You know.
You have my word, my vow. I will not say a thing.
And
to
you
Mr.
don't.
Belliver.
You also don't tell Belliver about this.
No, I want my throat not slit. I want my dust inside my belly. So no, I won't do that.
All right. Well, you have a great night. Stay safe, and thank you for the information.
No, that's fine. And then he just kind of shoves all of the gold into his various pockets, and he just zips around.
And then we're gonna make our way back the same way, where we kind of go into the shadows, get up on the broom, fly around haphazardly,
different direction,
and then drop off somewhere where we can walk straight towards the front and re-enter through the front of the building.
Okay, so you do that, and
so while that was all going on, how much time would have passed when they left?
I would say probably 20-30 minutes. So if you guys
Like,
want to
we
do that
had been in there for 30 minutes when they walked out the front door.
So I would probably say like 20 minutes after you walk to the front door. So if there's anything that you want to do, and kind of as you guys are going, you see that Seamus is kind of like, you know, smoking on his tobacco. Oh, he has his pipe rather. He took his pipe and he put tobacco in. There's no rolled up stuff. Retcon. And he took his pipe and he's smoking it, and just standing outside. So is there anything you guys want to do while you're in there?
While they're outside, I wanted to just kind of continue following Belliver around and see, like, just observe him and see what he does.
Okay, he's walking around, and you hear him say, like, where the fuck is that hero? And motherfucking now he's the high life, and I got fucking nothing now. And he's muttering to himself. And he looks around and he says, Janine, where the fuck is Leon? And then he says, I don't know, Mr. Belliver, I don't know. Well, fucking find him. I need him. And this well-dressed girl, you see, seems to be a prostitute, kind of zips out and tries to go find him.
Does he just stay there? Does he keep doing anything?
He is kind of, you just kind of see him kind of wandering around. He'll occasionally, like, you see someone who's like a little bit well-dressed, and he's kind of talking to people, kind of like, you know, putting his hand on their shoulder when he sees them. That smile comes back on, and he's like, and he just kind of like, and oh, you know, your luck will come back just a little bit longer. Trust, heart of the cards. And so he continues to make his way around and kind of doing that sort of thing. He's definitely kind of trying to milk the room.
Okay, so just kind of realizing what he's doing, I'm going to keep an eye on him, but, like, scout around, like, where he came down from on the stairs and, like, any kind of back doors or rooms or anything like that.
Okay. Can you make a quick investigation check as you're kind of going up and around?
20.
Okay, you make your way up and around, and you see. You remember those lounge areas where you met Matthias, and you see kind of there's a little small hallway off towards the back, and you see a relatively larger door, and you can kind of triangulate that was his office.
Is there anyone around it?
There is one of the goons from the Belliver Union standing outside of it.
Does he look stupid or inattentive?
He's big. He's heavily armed. He's got like multiple weapons on him, and he's kind of like looking off. It's kind of hard to tell if he's stupid or not, but he doesn't look super attentive.
He's stupid or not.
Is he standing? He's standing like right at the door.
Yeah.
Okay, and the door's closed.
Yeah.
I'm assuming. Okay, then I'm just gonna kind of continue walking around, and I'll find a quiet area to just kind of rocky-talkie and just, hey guys, where are you?
And so
Where were
you
you
guys are
at
probably
that point?
flying on the room at this point, trying to get around.
We've gotten information, gotten a bit of information, mainly just confirmed what we had suspected, but it didn't cost us that much, thankfully. It was a lot, but not for us anymore. We're on our way back now. I'm going to just walk in and just kind of play the hero role for Belliver. He'll teach me a game, and then we'll leave, and we can discuss.
Belliver's looking for Leon, and he looks pretty pissed off. I think we should see what he wants.
Are you able to... Well, Leon just went back in, so it's very likely that Belliver... Are you able to perhaps spy on that conversation once they meet?
I'll try.
So as soon as you hear that, Leon with the same woman that you saw that you know to be Janine, kind of pulls him aside and is guiding. Leon kind of has his head down, looking sheepish, as you see Belliver turn. He's, Leon, come join me in my office for a second. And he starts walking up the stairs again.
Okay, so do I see that happening?
You do.
Okay, I'll just wait at the top of the stairs.
Okay. You wait at the top of the stairs. Belliver walks up and he passes you. Doesn't notice you at all. and Leon and Janine kind of stops at the bottom of the stairs, and Leon kind of he's scratching himself, and he kind of goes up. There's a bit of a twinge of fear in his eyes, and he is walking up the stairs, following after.
Okay, I am gonna, when he opens the door, I'm gonna follow him into the office.
Okay. I will say, in order to kind of finagle this, why don't we just make another dex check, but with advantage, because you're invisible. 20. Okay. So he says, "Get the fuck." He says he looks at the goon standing there, and he says, "Get the fuck out of my way." And the guard leaves immediately. Okay, yes, boss. And he leaves, and then he pulls out a key, unlocks the door, and pulls it open. He said, "Join me inside, Leon." And yes, Mr. Belliver. And he zips in. You're able to just sneak right behind Leon, and kind of sprint. And you do like a Dark Souls roll to kind of avoid hitting either of them very quietly and gracefully.
I can't wait for her to run out of invisibility while she's locked in that room.
Oh God.
You know that you probably have about 15 minutes left. Probably. And so Belliver walks over to his desk and he sits down. So you're in a office that is very plush. There's kind of like there's a few couches. There's a large cabinet filled with all sorts of whiskeys and alcohols. Very kind of elaborate glasses and decanters filled with things. And he immediately walks over. He doesn't sit at his desk. He walks over, uncorks one of the decanters, and pours himself a very strong pour of some dark liquid. You assume to be some kind of whiskey. And he walks.
Before you do that, what other like furnishings are in there? Are there is there furniture or like drapes or anything?
So you can see that there are 2 windows on either side. So here's like the door where you're at, and then there's one door, one wall that doesn't have a window. You see this kind of towards like where the whore rooms are. And then the other sides are facing the outside. They have these kind of elaborate windows with these rich kind of purple velvety curtains that are drawn shut currently. And he has kind of these a few lamps lit. So there's kind of this warm light. And there's kind of a large cabinet and a very large desk that he's sitting at. So there's a couch, liquor cabinet, kind of a work cabinet, and his desk, and it's all kind of it's lavish. He's got this kind of fancy finery. It looks a little bit out of place and gaudy, almost like he's the kind of person who's just like desiring to be kind of like a nobility of some kind.
Okay, I'm gonna just while I'm listening to them, try to kind of position myself in such a way that like I'm hidden by the drapes without making them are they like, how lush are they?
They're pretty lush. I would say you could sneak behind them pretty easily.
Okay, I'll sneak behind the drapes.
You sneak behind them, and then he pours himself a very large drink, and he walks to his desk and he sits down and says, "Have a seat." There are two chairs in front of the desk, and he's, "Have a seat, Leon." And he pulls out another cigar. He lights it. There's a huge ashtray on his desk, and he pulls out a flint and tinder and he lights it. And he,
as they start talking, I'm gonna click my Rocky Talkie and just like project this to the group.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. So I'll say it works
Get out
like
of
that.
my head! Get out of my head!
And he's like, so what's up, boss? What's up? And he puts his hands on the desk and he says, "I got another fucking letter from that piece of shit Alphonse." And he says, about what? About what? And he says, "My plan to join him in Agwe was fucking declined." And he says, what do you want me to do about that, sir? And he says, "Let me fucking finish, Leon." Yes, boss. And he just goes completely silent. He says, "Turns out he doesn't think I could force that piece of shit Remy Guru and his riverboat out of the fucking market. And he apparently has a new hookup one of the fucking crime families down there is giving him a sweet fucking supply of girls, and I'm fucking useless. My name is fucking Mud. After all we fucking did, after all I fucking did, he takes a drink and he kind of like, his hair is kind of falling in front of his face, and there's some, his mustache is wet with the whiskey, and he says, and my name is, I'm fucking Dirt. Meanwhile, these fucking heroes. By the way, did you see that fucking, that dwarf save the city, got his fancy thing? Now they're nobles in the city, and after all our work, we are back here among the common folk. He said, I ain't seen him. I was just busy. You know, I got some of my. I was out with my serpent breath. You know. I was like, shut the fuck up, Leon. I understand. Fucking dope for you, okay? I need you to start finding me girls that he can't get from fucking neckbend. He can't get from slavers down there. You gotta find halflings, pure girls. Pure halfling, you understand? That's what Alphonse, at least that's what he wanted. Okay? And he said, I mean, yeah, of course, boss. I mean, you tell me, you tell me that, and I'll do it. You know I will. But where am I gonna find that? There are a lot of fucking halfling villages all over this fucking area. I would assume you would take my fucking money, go to every single whorehouse in every single village in the entire fields of Enoch, pay them all off to come work for me. You'll be gone for a while, Leon. That's the only way I think we can do this. And I know you don't. By the way, Leon, you know the reason you're alive, right? And because I'm good at my job. Fuck no, Leon. It's because you don't fucking talk. And so he says, don't breathe a fucking word of this. And you know what I'll do. And if you breathe any of that other stuff, you know what he will do. And you don't want that. No. I do not. No, I do not, Mr. Belliver. I do not. I'll send a few of the enforcers with you. You'll be protected. You'll be fine. You take a few days. Take 2 days. Get your affairs in order, and you're going to be gone for a long time. Understood, Leon? Yes, Mr. Belliver. Yes, Mr. Belliver. He looks completely petrified. And he kind of leans back and he drinks. And he says, this is the only fucking thing. I don't even know if this will fucking work, but this is the only fucking idea. You got any better ideas? You fucking dope. And you can't even stand up straight. Can you stand up for me? And then Leon is like shaking. He kind of stands up and he stumbles a little bit. He's like, you fucking are an embarrassment. Get the fuck out of my office. And he's, yes, Mr. Belliver. And he immediately goes to open the door, Annulin.
I want to look down and see if I can see myself.
You are still invisible. You feel like you are running out.
Okay, I'm going to, as gracefully as possible, make a dash for the door as he opens it.
Can you make another deck check with advantage?
It's a dex?
Dex.
16?
Plus 5. Okay. So yeah, he's kind of stumbling with it, and he's like pulling it. It's like it's a fucking door handle, Leon. You don't know how a fucking door handle works. I'm sorry, Mr. Belliver. I'm sorry, Mr. Belliver. And he opens the door, and he's kind of fumbling with it, and you are easily able to kind of dash out as he opens the door, and he closes the door behind him, and then please laugh at that, and then please watch that, and then you kind of hear very faintly a lock behind you as you leave, and Leon kind of scampers off, just looking completely petrified.
I'm just gonna really quickly make my way to like a shadowy area.
Okay.
That's sort of like more towards the public. area.
You make your way off. Both of you have arrived. The four of you. As soon as you arrive at the door, if there's anything you want to do, Seamus kind of nods at you and gives you a minute, and then follows you into the Mon Ami. You are all walking in as you're kind of standing there at the bar. Seamus is kind of just enjoying. He has another drink, and then you see Leon looking completely fucking petrified, running down the stairs and zipping out of the room, but not towards the entrance, towards another back room down the ground floor.
Well, Robeck, I think that we need to get ourselves a drink and spend a little bit more time. And then I don't know about you, but I'm feeling real tired. I think that this place has had an effect on my nerves.
Oh, well, perhaps they serve something that'll wake you up a little bit and we can play a few more hours of games. How does that sound?
Anything you want, darling.
I walk up to the bar. Is Belliver anywhere around here?
No, he's in his office.
Okay. I walk up to the bar and I get a drink and I kind of just look around, just like 4 or 5 times, kind of scan.
Make a perception check. 18.
Or no, 25. I'm doing 23. Sorry.
You don't see him around. Kind of given the tonality of his voice and his timbre and kind of sounded like he was drinking. Just the progression of that conversation, how worked up he was getting, you probably get the sense that he would need a bit to compose himself. And it sounded like he was pounding some whiskey pretty hard, so he might be...
I'm gonna lean in close.
I don't know what you're playing at, but I don't think we should be here when he comes back down.
Do you think... I mean, how crowded is the bar?
I mean, it's pretty crowded, so...
I want to do one of those like leany things, like if it's like really loud, it's kind of like,
yeah.
you know, talking.
Loud enough.
Do you think it'll be suspicious if we just leave when I told him to be back?
That's why I said that we should get some drinks, maybe play a couple of games, so that way when he asks, we were here.
That's
People
fine.
know we played some games, but I don't think we should stay.
Well, that's fine. Let's have one more drink. We'll play 2 more games and then we're out.
You've wasted so much of our gold tonight.
Okay, so just for that,
Can I have
yes.
stealthily held the button down?
So all of you have heard that. Seamus has heard it. Sylvia, I guess, hasn't heard it. All of that conversation.
So we didn't hear any of it.
Sylvia didn't hear any of that. So Seamus did, and Seamus' eyes are kind of wide, and he says, he leans over to you, Van, and says, we should get out of here as quickly as we can, Avantris.
I agree with you. I'm worried even if he spots me with the disguise that he may catch on to something. That Belliver's not one to miss much. So lead the way, old friend, and I'm right behind you.
Okay, sounds good. We're gonna take off. Meet you outside.
I just nod.
And so he walks out before you and lets you follow. Annulin, you are kind of you get into a corner, you duck behind a couch, and then you pop up and suddenly you're visible again. And no one really notices or cares. So you're able to kind of blend into the crowd. And so you're going to go back and play some table games to make sure that you were here if he asked, like, Janine. Yep. And they're like, you see Janine watching you, and she kind of looks up to the thing, and then she's like, and then kind of
I want to go in, like, actually learn Kraken and Anchors and play a few rounds or whatever.
Okay. So we'll say you learn that, and just so we don't have to go through the rules now,
No.
why don't you just roll 3 d20s, please?
And tell me how much of our gold he's wasting.
While he's playing, I'll find my way down to them and just kind of sidle up next to them.
16, 4, 11.
16, 4, 11. I'll say in the course of that, you're kind of breaking even, but eventually you're down 50 gold. Okay. So you learn, and I'll teach it to you if you actually get to another casino or whatever. But just for the sake of brevity, you learn it. And you play some games kind of for appearance. Annulin kind of joins you, and then Rhoda kind of has his arms around 2 girls. He's looking like big pimpin', and the people are like,
I would never do that. I
Or
would have my arm around my sweetheart here.
He doesn't do that. He doesn't do that. But he still has an attractive wood elf next to him. Everyone's like, man, the hero's already making use of his title.
Oh, if Annulin was back, I would have made her invisible again because people would recognize her.
That's right. You're right.
And I wouldn't want her to be seen with Rodak.
We'll just say you cast invisibility again. you're invisible. That's right. People would recognize you, so that's fair.
I'll pretend to like pick up something off the ground and bend down, and then she can catch it, and I just won't ever come back up.
Yeah, so you bend down, all of a sudden you're behind a couch again, and then you're invisible, you walk up. And so, Rodek, you lose a 50 gold total, but you're kind of up and down, and not too much, though. This is a higher stakes game, so it was probably good that you didn't lose more. So,
So I'm up 25 from the time before.
Yes. And yeah, you're net 25.
Yeah.
And so you make some rounds. You notice that you kind of go to a couple of like the dealers and like the table pit bosses and make sure that you were there, and then you make your way out. That's what you want to do.
Yep.
Okay. You kind of walk down. You head towards the kind of in the direction of the Rusty Bucket. If you remember that bar where you had a conversation with Matthias.
Oh, that's right.
And you see Vandus in his disguise and Seamus kind of standing off to the side, and you're all able to reconvene. And you're able to drop stealth if you prefer.
And I think we would
Did
just
you guys
probably...
catch all of that?
Yeah, and I think we should head back to our home, where the house is, so that we don't have this conversation in the street.
And without saying a word, there could be enforcers anywhere.
I agree. Let's go. And I could use some if there's any leftovers from supper. I mean, Forgus is cooking. I appreciate it.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not sure I even trust our home, given the fact that such and such also six and snakes and things. So what I'm gonna suggest we do is we spend 10 minutes outside of our home. I'll cast my hut. We'll go in there and talk.
In the garden or something.
Yeah.
Right, that's a brilliant idea. I wouldn't have thought of that. Let's do that. Let's go separately though in our usual. Let's just stay split.
Doubly agreed.
All right.
Okay. So you all split up. I'm gonna need all of you to roll stealth checks for me, please.
Natural 20 pickle frick! 23.
8.
Okay.
20.
I rolled a 21.
Ooh.
guys.
God.
So
That means I rolled an 8.
you're awful, Vandus. How do you even do this?
It's a mess.
So now that we're back in, you leave the Monami behind. It's late into the evening now. You all make your way. You see a couple of the Belliver Union enforcers kind of walking around throughout the Dionysian hemisphere, but kind of once you leave that district, they seem to be pretty sparse. You don't really see any more. And so you all are still staying stealthy. No one really notices you. You all make it back to the gardens. The sea eagles that had been posted outside when you left recognizes you in your disguise, doesn't ask questions. He unlocks the gate for you and welcomes you inside. You find like a little path near the creek in the garden next to like a few hedges and some nice trees. If you'd like to cast,
Yeah, I'm gonna take the 10
hut.
minutes and do tiny
Okay,
hut.
tiny hut. You can make it. What color are you gonna make it?
Green, like a grayish green to kind of meld in with the darkness and the
Okay.
green of the gardens.
It covers you. You are now inside, and Seamus is like, I still will never get used to this magic stuff.
Sorry.
Alright, now, I know that we're heroes and we've kind of moved beyond all of this, but I almost have to wonder if it's just better for us to just murder Leon as soon as he leaves the town.
I don't. I think that we should try to get Leon on our side. I think he could easily be bought.
The problem is the guards that are going to be with him, and I think it would be better it would give us a lot of time if he just vanished, and Belliver didn't know where he went when he's expecting him to be gone for months at a time, who knows how long, and then he never shows up. The girls are never in any danger. We cut off the supply source, and that's that.
Though I agree with that, I don't think that Leon is the one that we should kill. If we're killing anyone, I'm going for Belliver. I'm going straight for the jugular.
The problem is that people will notice Belliver gone. No one's going to notice if Leon's
then,
gone.
why don't we don't kill him, but why don't we put him in our jail? Like, we've got a dungeon.
Wait. Vandris? Do you know the drug Serpent's Breath?
Out of character, DM, would I have ever heard of that?
You experimented in your youth.
I feel like it's just more likely that I know what it is.
Make an intelligence check, and I'll say with advantage because because you have city life.
That's a pretty good roll. 19.
19. You know that serpent's breath is a powerful, potent drug that originates from Yulong, and it is heavily it's imported from Yulong, but you know that it's not primarily imported from here. So you know that it is very heavy, incredibly addicted, but you know that there could be potential magic properties from those that can use it. And so it's very highly valuable, very highly expensive, and then the people that don't really understand what they're dealing with kind of go pretty fucking nutso, like Leon.
I shared all of that information with my friends.
Okay.
Now, is it illegal in Gullhaven to use?
No.
No. Well, never mind. I'm trying to think of how do we get Leon locked up without killing him?
Well, so that's the problem, right? Is that I know that Belliver said that his best quality is that he never speaks, but he literally just broke that. And if we can buy him, then anyone can buy him. And I honestly just don't trust him being alive.
Oh, we
now
filled
again,
Sylvia in.
I moved past
What?
this.
We filled
whole...
Sylvia in.
Okay. Oh,
Sorry.
yeah.
Just Sylvia didn't hear any of that, so we filled her in, and now she knows what we're talking
I
about.
thought it was with the. Does she not have the
She
rock?
didn't have walkie-talkie.
I had to give my
Okay.
walkie-talkie to Annulin.
Sorry, go ahead.
We're all on the same page.
Yep.
We're all on the same page. Now, while I agree, I don't like to. Well, I'm trying to avoid murdering people in cold blood from now on. I honestly don't. If he can flip for us, he'll flip for anyone.
Seamus pipes up and says, Rurik, that's an interesting thought, Vandris. I'm maybe... The thing about Serpent's Breath is that... I remember Seamus is there suddenly. He says it is... A lot of smugglers run that, and if it's not been inspected by the proper authorities, there's high tariffs on it, and there is a... They know that it comes from Ogway, and they don't like that they have the monopoly on it. So maybe if he can prove that he smuggled it, or just say he did, and use your power to say he smuggled it and got unregulated Serpent's Breath.
Would it be suspicious that all of a sudden we'd be trying to get this random guy locked up?
Probably, but
Little weird.
that's all I got. Vandris,
I'd say it's a little weird, but that's just my opinion as well. But again, I appreciate Seamus's ever insightful knowledge.
We can't kill Leon. He fears for his life. He's pathetic. But I don't. He works for a very bad man. But I don't think that we should just murder him. He's scared. He truly is. And he has a weakness.
I
Sure.
was scared when I was up in that office.
Right.
I honestly think he'd be much more loyal to people he wasn't terrified of.
I don't want to become allies with this guy, but
Well, that's fine, but I just think killing him isn't the way to do it.
I agree. I don't want to kill him.
As always, I figured that plan would be in the minority anyway, but please, by all means, let's come up with another plan.
But I hate to say this, but I'm not worried about the girls that Leon is trying to get until Alphonse comes back and wants them. Because the plan there is that Alphonse isn't working with Belliver anymore. And Belliver's just trying to create a clientele that's going to draw Alphonse back. So those girls aren't really in any danger. He's trying to get them from whorehouses already, which shows that they're already in that line of work anyway. They would just be coming here to be doing that in a way to entice LeBlanc to come back. So they're personally not what I'm concerned about. The thing that's interesting to me is that we knew that Belliver had something to do with this house and with Hissy. We now know that the entire purpose of that thing was to get Hissy for LeBlanc.
here's the
I'm just worried he'll start shipping the girls to Ogway, honestly. He may keep them here, but there's nothing stopping him from
So
shipping
then
them
let's
directly
go
to
to
Alphonse.
Ogway and cut the snake off at the tail, or whatever they say.
No, he wants to get an invitation to Ogway by saying, "Hey, Alphonse, I have a whole bunch of pure halfling girls."
Do you think that's why he was so interested in me? Because I'm a forest gnome?
Holy shite! Aye, I do. Thank you for putting that together.
You're welcome. Anything
So-
for you, darling.
Why? Because he didn't necessarily know you were a halfling. Or
Couldn't
no.
you know, right? I mean,
Well, I was in my frog costume, so maybe he just has a thing for short girls.
generally the first tip-off, I suppose, and he was probably taking a stab in the dark here.
So maybe he thought I was a halfling. I am fairly short
Right.
for a forest gnome.
Or it's that you're a magic user. And he takes girls of all kinds. Well, here's the thing. I think that Belliver wants to get invited to Ogway for some just out of character. So we heard that Belliver wanted to go to Ogway.
Belliver. So yeah, I'll just say
Yeah,
it just because
yeah.
I was kind of like was active.
Yeah.
Belliver wanted to go to. He had pitched a plan to Alphonse to go to Ogway.
He was
It was declined
Because there are people
because
there that
two
do
things.
his
He
job.
didn't think he could get any kind of ground on Remy Garou's control on the city. A, and B, that he already has a hookup for girls from one of the crime families.
So he already has a hookup and he couldn't make any ground on Guru.
Yeah.
So basically, there's no spot for him there. What's the point?
Do I remember the name Guru?
I would.
Yeah,
I would say both of you would remember that name.
absolutely.
I think both of you would remember that name.
Avantris, do you remember Guru, that fucker on the
Oh.
boat?
Trust me, my friend. I heard the name and it brought back fond memories. Fond memories.
Oh, who is this guy?
So, anyway, that leads me to my point. I think all roads lead to Ogway. However, we still have Annulin's family, Annulin's mother. So what do? We are at a crossroads where I feel like we don't have much time in either area. How do we do this?
Well, first, I think no matter what, we have to do a hybrid of my plan and Vandris's plan.
That would buy us time,
We're going to not kill him,
but take care of him.
but we're going to knock him out and throw him in our dungeon. And we'll have Gus take care of him. He already has a prisoner with Orpheus. And then if we'll take Orpheus with us, if we want to go help, perhaps investigate Fire Giant.
I have an idea, and you're gonna say no initially, but I think you should think about it. And then you're still probably gonna say no, but at least I tried. So, what is the possibility of me talking to Orpheus about ways to get his magic back?
No.
Oh,
Whoa,
What are you talking about?
Hey, hold on. So I have seen a side of him I didn't know was there. Since he was bald for a while and now has his hair back, but has been without his magic, and he has helped us. And I'm thinking, what if we can make an ally out of him yet?
I think that is a very tough prospect. What side did you
If
see?
you are even remotely serious about it, I will walk down in the dungeon and cut his head off right now.
Well, I mean, I guess you might have to cut his head off because I'm very serious about it. Because my thought was this. I got my power from a powerful magical being, an entity, and it's possible, I think, for him to do the same if he could find one and have a friendship like I had with Titania and be horrible and a gnome and made to have the Phaelite. But anyway, all that aside, if he had his power back, he knows where Annulin's mom is. Maybe if we helped him get power back in some kind of way so he's not just a worthless piece of shit in our dungeon, he would be willing to release Annulin's mother for us while we go to Ogway. And I know it seems like a stretch and it seems crazy, but I'm just saying think on it. It doesn't hurt to think about the options that we have.
There's nothing in it for him. Nothing in it for him.
He gets power back.
And then what? Tries to take over the literal world again, destroy everything that we know as we know it?
Well,
No way.
I think he's
Absolutely not.
probably learned from that mistake.
I already don't like keeping him alive in the dungeon, and I've been very flexible on that so far.
Now, I see both sides.
Give him his power and then ship him off into the world without any supervision.
Right. So
As much as I want my mother back, we just can't,
I will agree that Orpheus does have a side to him where I think he has a lot of issues. And he has a past that made him the way he was.
Well, and I think the reason is he has family issues, I think, that are very similar to mine. And so I see a lot in him, a lot of the same pain that I deal with on a regular basis. And I obviously didn't want to bring chaos into the material world and destroy everything and have a Swati just eat all the people and stuff. But, I made a doll out of poop, so that's kind of almost as bad.
No, it's not.
And so I guess for me, I look at him and I think the reason I didn't turn out that way is because my circumstances were different. And maybe if he had friends and he had people who cared about him, then maybe he could end up being a good guy. Or maybe he just is bad to the core. I don't know. I'm just sympathetic.
I think that while it would be lovely to have someone... Oh, I'm sorry, Seamus, I didn't mean to cut you off, please.
No, my name is Seamus, and that's between Yamus. I didn't get involved.
I don't know who Yamus is, but he sounds nice.
No, we value your opinion. At least, I do very deeply. So
You've earned the right. I have no say. It's not my right. It's yours.
You know that I've always thought that you are basically the one that I go to with all of my life problems. I'd like to hear your opinion.
He sighs, nods to Sylvie and says, I think she may have a point.
Oh, you son of a bitch, not Seamus!
I mean...
Well, I guess so much for valuing your opinion, am I right, Seamus?
I just assumed he'd be on my side. I've known him forever. Damn it, if Seamus says it's okay, it's probably okay.
Vandris, I know what he did. It was a horrible thing, and I think it's a very difficult thing. Whatever nefarious things, whatever baggage he has, he almost he ruined Gullhaven for weeks, for a month, and it was horrific. He killed so many people, but whatever you did to him, the man that I saw, I never met him beforehand, but I only heard of him. He helped me out, helping build the perch, and he seemed very not good, I guess, but not. I can't say, but he didn't seem like the kind of evil. Half of the evil twats I do business with.
All right. I said that I value your opinion highly, and I do, so I'm gonna take that to heart. But I still don't like where this is going.
I'm not saying to give him magic back. I'm just saying, don't go cut off his head. That's all I'm saying.
Fine, but I agree with you. I don't like the idea of him having power again. I like him right where he is, where we can take care of him if need be.
Well,
I don't. Maybe if magic. I don't know how you got your magic, Sylvie. If meeting somebody or have Amiria teach him some of those fancy tricks that she does to use magic. I don't know, but it's very, very, very risky.
And I agree. And he's a very good liar too. I think for now, what he gets is he's alive. That's his gift from us. But he's even alive right now.
Agreed.
And if he could be an ally one day, which seems ridiculous to me, I'm even saying it.
What does? That he's alive?
That he could be an ally.
Well, I don't think so.
You don't?
No. Yeah, I understand that giving him power back is a very scary idea. But I think the idea of him being an ally doesn't seem like a scary idea. Everyone needs friends, even mean people.
Well...
No one wanted to be my friend back in the swamp, and now I have you guys. And I'm much better for it, I can say. Well, when Avantris isn't pissing me off, and when you're not pissing me off, and when Annulin isn't changing the names of the animals that she gets.
Well, either way, I don't think that needs to determine what we do next.
Well, I'm just saying, we are stuck in a situation where we have two very pressing matters to deal with at the exact same time. And all of us can't be in the same place at the same time. So we either say, sorry, Annulin, your mom's probably gonna die, and we go deal with the Hissy situation, or we say, sorry, Hissy, and all of those halflings that are probably being eaten by Dracula, and all of the terrible, nefarious things that are happening, and everything that's going on with, what's-his-face over at the whorehouse, and we say, 'cause Annulin's mom needs our help. So, like, either way, people are gonna die simultaneously, and so I'm just trying to offer suggestions, 'cause nobody else is.
So here's my problem. While I said that I would do anything to help this group of people here, now that Hissy is potentially still alive, I have to see it through to the end.
I think Hissy is 100% definitely alive.
Well, or
So
God
one of,
forbid,
the thing that tipped me off more than anything was the renovations that were done to the place before you guys went in to retrieve the guy that they had staged there. So obviously those renovations were putting the holes in the ground, putting the runes in there, making it so that they could make it look like the ghost stream happened in a way to capture Hissy. So yeah, I agree with you. She might be undead at the time, but they definitely brought her out of there, and that is definitely her who Forgus saw. I have no doubt in my mind.
Regardless, that may have to be my number one priority, and Annulin, I apologize, but I've known Hissy forever, and we've been together for the better part of a year. I would support you guys through anything, but I have to find Hissy.
I'm still waiting for something here, so I have some time.
Well, then maybe we set out for Agwe as soon as possible, and we just know that once we have more information and more than we need, we go to help Annulin's mom.
I think Agwe does seem more pressing, certainly.
No, I don't want to choose between a life. I hate to rank someone's life over someone else's, but
And that's not what I
we
mean.
also don't even know if Orpheus is telling the truth.
Well, and I think, and I don't know how true this is, but I imagine, well, I do know it's a little bit true because we were all there. But that one time that we met Annulin's brother and that guy that was kind of a dick, they were going to reach out to the Thorn Mother or something about it, and we still haven't heard anything about that yet. So I think
Those guys are flaky.
I think that's a very important piece of the puzzle that we need before making that determination anyway. And I think that if Annulin's mom is at all like Annulin, and I think she must be, she's tough. And I think if there's anyone that can handle the situation she's in, it's probably Annulin's mom.
You're not wrong. I love her, but she's kind of scary sometimes. But I did send a letter to my brother, and that's what I'm waiting for. I want to get word back.
Okay. Then I think that we've got a boat now, another one. And I think that our best bet might be to make haste to Agwe. I know that there's stuff here, but like I said, I'm not so worried about the girls that Belliver's trying to get, and I think our best bet is to head to Agwe as soon as possible and try to get into that while we still have a leg up, because right now Belliver has no idea what we know. So we make some kind of announcement that we're going somewhere else, like maybe we're going back to Rodik's home to provide, food and money to his family, or to my home or something, and they have
Certainly
no idea
not
where
mine.
we're going. Well, then we'll say mine.
It's in the area, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, but then we don't want to do that. We don't want them to know we're in the area in case it gets back to... Well, I guess if it gets back to Alphonse, then he might reach out to me because he had an interest in me because I'm a forest gnome.
We could lie and say we're going to visit another continent.
That's
I
true,
hear there
too.
are some lovely ones across the ocean.
But then if we run into Alphonse, do we want to play the whole sneaky game again?
No,
No,
I don't
not
think
really.
we should. So I think we should do that. We'll say that we're going to go visit my family, and they're
Right.
close to Agwe, and then when we do happen to see him, more than likely, he'll know that we're in the area because he's one of the 7 serpents, and
We're
then
just passing
it
through.
makes complete sense that we'd be there visiting the
Yeah,
area.
well,
Maybe
it's
we're
even
looking
better.
for a new home.
Right, and it's not like we could hide our plans to sail to Agwe.
Yeah, we could
I
even
think-
say that we're looking to purchase a home for my family in Agwe proper. I've
Right.
got a lot of brothers and sisters. They need a townhouse. Let's
Alright.
not actually buy it for them. They're all assholes.
Well, that's a good cover.
Yeah,
Certainly.
I just want
It's
to make sure
brilliant.
that there's no confusion. I don't want to buy them anything. I'm not even sure I want to see them.
Well, I suppose that's the best idea. And Anulin, you're okay with that?
Yeah, I am.
I have an idea.
And who knows, we may even get good news from your brother.
I'm hoping.
What's she do?
It's been no news so far.
Well, then I think we head to bed. We enjoy our evening in this beautiful Chateau de Sylvie. Oh, God. And then we choose to leave soon.
Did you have an idea, Seamus? Is that what you said?
I have an idea.
Sure.
As much as I'd like to go with you, I can hang back here and Teo Leon, see where he goes, see what he does. And if the time comes for it, I'm good with a knife.
Well, great. And you can keep that walkie-talkie. I think it's a good idea. I have Lumi. So Anulin keeps mine, and if we have to split up, then I keep Lumi with one of you guys.
Speaking of that,
Listen, Seamus, you better not get yourself killed. Don't do anything crazy.
Speaking of that,
So my point is, I think it's a good idea if we leave it with him. That way we have a connection to Gangplank, and we have a connection to Goalhaven, and we still have a way to communicate with everybody.
and we
and
can
maybe
always
at some
teleport back right away.
Yeah, and then maybe, worst case scenario, if somebody, if we find a place, maybe in Agwe, we can find someone who can craft us another Rocky Talkie. It's always a possibility.
speaking of that, Lumi would have gotten back to you
Oh,
the previous day and would have told you that Emiria went back to a little apartment in the Apollonian hemisphere, and she just went to her apartment and stayed there.
And I wouldn't have relayed this to anybody, and I would have made
Was
sure
she, like,
to
looked
tell
in the
her.
window, or was she just...
Yeah, she would have basically
She
hung out
basically-
all night to make
yeah.
sure that she slept and she didn't do anything weird. Essentially, Sylvia's just making sure she didn't run off to get herself killed, to do anything crazy.
Yeah.
But she also told Lumi that whatever she talked about, she didn't want to know because she didn't want to like infringe on her privacy.
Yeah.
She just wanted to kind of look over her.
Yeah, so I guess Lumi would have told you, and you don't have to repeat this to the group, but basically, she went in, she pulled out a, like a little picture frame with an illustration, and just like looked at it, and then basically like held it to her chest while she just stared at the ceiling all night, basically.
So yeah, I have Lumi, so we're okay. At least for now.
Alright, well, Seamus, you take good care of that. You keep an eye on Orpheus for us, too,
And
if you have the
Forgus
time.
too. If he gets put back into prison, oh boy.
Oh, you're gonna take Emiria with you.
Are we? We probably should.
She's going on her own.
We probably should.
Yeah, it's better than she going out on her own if that's what Seamus is suggesting, so, yeah.
I'll hearing this, I'll send Lumi to her to just say to relay what our plan is and ask her if she would come with us, and that we plan to make haste.
Okay.
Or perhaps should we take two separate boats? So if we need to split up for any reason.
Well, I mean, if we choose to do that, I can let Lumi know, and she can change what she says to Emiria.
I'm just thinking if she ends up doing something
Well, I think taking
rash.
two separate boats is perfectly fine. I just want her to be aware that we're going, and we should make plans to meet up once we get there and kind of cohesivize our plans. That's a word, right? Cohesivize?
I'm also just not. All I'm gonna say is, knowing Emiria, she's less likely to act out if we keep an eye on her. That's all. If we let her do her own devices, anything can happen.
Seamus like nods and says, "Well, that's up to you. I think that she knows what's at stake. I hope she wouldn't do anything stupid."
Well,
Lumi's off to Emiria.
if you're Okay, keeping an eye on Leon. Just please keep yourself safe. Whatever you do.
will. And I mean, I talked to Forgus, and he and I, as much as he wants to join you in Agwe, I told him, I talked him down from the ledge. I saw he was ready to hop on a ship today, and I talked him down and said that his strengths are finding information, and getting information, and if there's anything we can find out about Alphonse now that he's not here, then we should do whatever it takes to find that out.
Well, then could you keep us posted with this
I will.
sending stone?
I have it. Don't give Forgus one. He will never sleep.
No, never.
Please.
Never.
I will make sure he never gets it.
All right.
Okay? It's fine. I'll keep an eye on Forgus. I'll keep an eye on Leon. I'll make sure that nothing poor falls upon these poor halfling girls that he's going for, if he's even successful.
Okay.
Well, sounds like you have a plan.
Yeah.
Are we leaving tomorrow?
I think we should.
No sense in waiting.
Well, let's get some... Are we still in the hut?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's 8 hours. We could sleep here if we wanted.
Can I still stay in that guest room?
Oh, of course. You can
Yes,
stay there
you
the
may.
entire time we're gone.
You don't have to ask.
Not at all.
Feels a little weird having people wait on me, but
You'll get used to it.
maybe I will.
And you should.
Oh, what are we doing with Orpheus this whole time?
Oh, well,
We haven't really decided, I suppose.
think
We have
we
more
should-
discussion in the hut.
I think we should tell him what we're going to do and that he's going to stay locked up. But if he's good, that we may have mercy on him when we come back.
And what
And
I will
that he
say...
will... we fed him really good food. He got some of that grouper. So
Yes.
maybe he's in a good place.
And Seamus, if he was helping you rebuild your inn, or as a focus.
You have, I would say you have agency over this too. If you want to put him to some manual labor, I think that it's fine to do that as long as you make sure that he's locked up in that cage at night.
I think that's a perfect idea, Sylvie. Again, I trust your judgment, and I think that if you get to know him a little bit better than we have, maybe you can reaffirm our suspicions or dispel them, I suppose.
I could do that.
So we'll make sure to let G-Tree know exactly where you stand in the hierarchy of our home. That you're just like we are.
I will do my best to keep the house in order any way I can, and I'll put Orpheus to work, and I will make sure he stays locked up.
Well, and
Don't go easy on him.
Oh, Avantris, you know me.
And we trust your judgment. If you want him to help you track Leon, feel free to take him. Whatever you think that is best.
I will contact you, whatever you call these, before I do anything like that, and bring him. Let Forgus and I handle that for now, and if we need to bring in the madman, we will.
All right.
The other madman. Less of a madman than Forgus, I guess, eh?
At this
Hard
point,
to say.
you make me right. Well, let's get some sleep. I'm sick of being in this hut.
Well, I made it really comfy.
The temperature's nice and it feels fine.
It's dry.
It's dry.
No
We're-
Chateau de Sylvie,
We're on the ground.
That's
and
true.
I want to enjoy the last night in my wonderful new room, at least for a while.
He's gonna jack off, so we should probably go.
I don't even know it.
Yo, I can't play D&D with you guys anymore.
That's about it. The Skype call disconnects.
So you all leave. You all enter the house, your mansion. You all kind of enjoy the rest of the evening. There's some after dinner. There's some dessert waiting for you. Seamus goes into the kitchen and gets some leftovers from dinner, and he kind of fixes a plate and sits at the table and eats it. And there's some dessert waiting for you. Some after dinner drinks if you prefer.
I would.
So they take good care of you. There's a big fire roaring in the study for you if you'd like, or one of the studies, and
Just hang out and talk and
yeah.
enjoy each other's company. Obviously, Sylvia will go down personally and relay the information to Orpheus and bring him some dessert and kind of just shoot the shit with him. Trying to build a
Could
friendship
we
there.
speak to Orpheus? Could we bring him up and sit him down? Maybe I'm gonna have some dessert and ask
Yeah.
him about what happened today.
Yeah, let's do it.
It might be wise that we got quite a bit of information. He might know something about it.
Okay.
Are we fine with letting him have some dessert and...
He can sit in front of the fire. I'll bring a robe down from my room.
While I don't agree, I think it's a show of good faith. So I think that Sylvie's and Seamus are in the right here.
I am going to write that down in my book of grudges under a place called Confusion. And I'm going to write that down with the date and the time so that I never forget that you said those words.
Shouldn't be confusion. It should be the Book of Anti-Grudges, aka the Book of Avantris is back in your good graces.
Well, hold on.
And I'm going to run upstairs and I'm going to get my Avantris doll and I'm going to bring it down. I'm going to give it to him.
I had this made of you. As you can see, it was very expensive because it's the most handsome doll in all of the land.
Oh.
Look, it even has a mini rapier, and it's actually made of metal, so you could stab things with it.
That is impressive. I am very moved by this
Oh, and look.
gesture of kindness.
Here's your turkey named
Flute. And she shows him Piccolo.
Oh, wow! This is fantastic. I will be sure to display this proudly in my room.
Perfect. Yeah. I didn't show it to you before because I was mad at you, but I'm not mad at you now, so you can have it.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
So Orpheus is eventually led into the room. If you guys wanted to go get him. If you want to go get him.
Yeah, I would have gone down.
So
to get
Sylvie
him.
gets him, he steps into the room slowly, his hands up.
She's holding onto one of his hands and skipping.
Still can't use magic. Still can't use magic.
Oh, just sit down.
Is this real? Is that dessert thing?
Yeah.
Please have some.
Is that chocolate mousse?
Look, I
love chocolate.
brought you a plush velvet bathrobe.
G-Drink, could
red.
you, like, sponge him off? He's a little...
I'm going to prestidigitation him so he's all
I would
nice and
still,
refreshed.
if the bath is on the docket, I wouldn't say no.
I would have to watch you, and I don't want to see your tiefling penis.
I'm gonna eat my mousse now.
Okay.
He sits down and he grabs the daintiest spoon and he starts eating. Oh gosh.
I hate this game and I hate all of you. I don't know why I play this.
I've seen worse prisons. This could be worse.
Well,
Listen. I don't like this at all. And
Are
you
you
better
sure
thank
about that?
Sylvie. You better thank Seamus and Sylvie for letting you be here right now. Because if it wasn't for all of them and Ganji, you'd be dead by my blade. So you watch yourself. And Seamus still has full agency to murder you if need be.
Oh, Orpheus, he's wearing your dad's pants.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's right. I'm rubbing my butt all over your dad's armor. How's that feel?
Yeah, he put skid marks in there on purpose.
I didn't do that. That's disgusting. You took it too far, Sylvie.
Sorry.
Well, I suppose that the rule of thievery is finders keepers, so I didn't wear the old thing anyway, so fine. And also register. The first 50 times you threatened to kill me, I think it kind of clicked. Once or twice. But I appreciate
Never say it too much.
Thank you, Sylvie. Thank you, Seamus. And Seamus is this huge mouthful of grouper, and he just goes back to eating.
Did you like your dinner? I made sure to have that sent down for you.
Thank you. It was delicious. I hadn't had a proper meal since you deposed me of my evil volcano air.
Yeah, that was for the best.
so
No comment.
we're not being nice for no reason.
I know. Have you ever been nice for no reason? No.
We're hoping
Yeah,
that you'll
all
be
the time.
amenable to help us. We learned quite a bit today. And as you know, we were asking about Alphonse LeBlanc.
You were.
We found out that, as you probably know by now, he is going to Agwe. He's desperate for halfling girls. Pure halfling girls. Do you know why he might be?
Halfling girls, why? No.
Do you know much about vampires and or Draculas?
Vampires. Dracula's, no. Vampires, I've heard the stories of. I know that they exist in certain areas of the world. I've been to Striga. I never met one myself.
Well, Belliver, you know Belliver by now.
Of course.
As
Poor
you know,
little boy.
he's in business with Alphonse to some degree.
That was obvious, yes.
And
I did case the joint for a couple of weeks, so.
we learned of a man named Remy Garou. Does that name ring a bell?
Remy. No, where's he from?
He's
Agwe.
from Agwe, I believe. Just through happenstance, we ran into him quite a while ago.
Unfortunately, I never made my way to Agwe.
Do you know anything about it? I don't know if you'll be happy or not to hear this, but we're leaving tomorrow morning for Agwe.
So soon.
So soon. I know.
Well, am I staying here in the dungeon?
Yeah, but I made sure
Great.
to let G-Tree know that you can have normal food every single night, so he's not going to bring you sludge, because they were going to make you eat sludge, but I said no. And Seamus is going to be here, and he's going to watch you, and he has permission to let you out and allow you to do things, depending on how you act. Orpheus, I really want to believe that you could be a changed person. And I have some things I'd like to talk to you about, magic-related, when you come back. When we come back. So, if you toe the line, if you were good, we might have a conversation that would really interest you.
I'll be on my best behavior.
Thank
Can I
you.
get like a bed or something?
We'll put a bed in there.
Like a comfortable bed would be preferable.
Well, not a cot, but not a bed.
Can I take a bath?
A sponge? We can have G-Tree give you a sponge bath every night.
Is he the one who has the shaky thing?
Yes.
Oh.
He doesn't mind seeing tiefling penis, I'm sure.
Well, sure, why not?
Perfect. So that's basically the plan. Seamus has a way to get in contact with us. If you think of anything that could help get us back faster, the faster we're back, the faster you aren't stuck in that room, because maybe at that point we can consider a different living arrangement for you. So anything you can think of that could help us.
I appreciate it. I unfortunately, I wish I had stopped by Agwe, but my traveling circus never wanted to stop there. It was too rough and tumble for them even.
Wow. Well, I say for now, let's just enjoy our dessert and we'll head out in the morning.
Sounds good to me.
It's good. It's very good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And you seem to actually be genuinely happy to be enjoying kind of
fire
fine
crackling in the hearth, and we're all just
Yeah.
kind of hanging out and laughing.
Yeah, so the four of you guys, Seamus and Orpheus, enjoying chocolate mousse as you finish up your meal and all go to your various. A bed's brought down to the little cellar area, and so he gets locked up, and Orpheus snuggles up to bed, and Seamus goes to his room. You all get a long rest.
Perfect. Hit the confirm button 2 clicks on D&D Beyond.
D&D Beyond.
D&D Beyond.
In the morning, I want to get up and go down and spend some time with Ramby and kind of give him a scratch and let Gus know that, hey, make sure just to take good care of them and that kind of thing.
Okay. You give him a good old scratch.
Same with Honey and Scram.
I want to.
And of course, Piccolo.
I'm going to go to the library and see if I can look around and find any books about whatever kind of creature Sunny and Scramble are, knowing that as they age with us gone, he may need additional resources on how to take care of them.
Okay.
And so I'm going to see if I can find anything to kind of help Annulin and to help
Okay.
Gus.
Make an intelligence check.
9.
9. You look around, you see some books that are in, once again, kind of a similar thing that Annulin saw in languages. But, kind of given the time and being brief, you could spend a lot of time here, like days kind of looking through the books and going through. So, you not yet, at the very least, but you kind of get a sense of the ones that you haven't. You kind of it'll
So
it'll
then
be
I'll
easier.
just make a point of letting G Tree know, like, hey, with them, check out the library, see if you can find anything that might help you with them. Kind of tip him off to looking in the library for that book, see if he knows.
Oh, the library. Well, I ain't never been that learned, you know. I ain't never learned how to read.
Yeah.
But I can ask someone who does.
Yeah, so Seamus knows how to read, I think.
Does he? Well, that sounds nice.
And
I'll ask
so,
him.
yeah, maybe ask him.
To be frank, I know that there's a lot of languages that the old master knew how to read that I ain't even. I saw those letters and I'm like, how are those letters? By the way, what's your favorite letter in common? Mine's the letter G for Gus.
Would there be any books on how to speak other languages in the library? Does it seem like?
You could probably get like a hooked on phonics sort of thing. It would probably.
So So then, could I having heard him say that, could I kind of run up there and try and see if I can find anything on how to speak Abyssal?
Okay.
Or no, it would be the devil one. Just the devil one. Infernal.
Yeah.
I want to speak the language of the guy that took Matthias.
Okay. Make another intelligence check.
Oh boy.
That's dangerous. I hope you realize that.
Well, that was a natural one. So.
One. You only have the +3. Yeah.
Yeah,
way.
it's 3.
Either way, yeah,
It's 3.
3. Yeah. You don't find. You get a sense that a lot of these books are kind of more on like there's a lot of fiction. There is a lot of fiction. You get the sense that Wisenheimer liked to bury his little nose in a novel. But the stuff that isn't
Kindred
is
spirits.
a lot of kind of schools of magic. But you kind of get the sense there are a lot of languages that you can't read that are on there that you're. If you took more time with it or whatever, then maybe more.
Just not in this quick span of time. Yeah. I gotcha.
Okay.
I'm gonna run out into town to where I dropped off that envelope earlier and just leave them a little bit of coin and ask them to forward anything that comes to Ogway for me.
Do you remember how long it's been?
Like 2 days.
Couple
Yeah,
of days,
not very
right?
long.
Okay. Yeah. So they why don't we just subtract like 5 silver pieces?
Okay.
And they'll put there's like a regular freighter to Ogway, so they'll send it on with their usual mail business when if something arrives for them. So yeah. With that, so you do that. You all meet up in the morning. Seamus, you see Seamus. He says he puts on his hat and pulls up his coat. It's kind of like it's a chilly morning, but I guess you all are going Ogway, so you'll be nice and warm. Enjoy it down there in the south. I'm gonna go check on Fergus and make sure he doesn't do anything stupid. Leaving him alone, I guess, was ill-advised, but I'm getting used to comfort already.
Well, Seamus, good luck. Stay safe.
Well, I didn't think it would happen this soon, even though I knew it would happen. Got a good week and a half in with you.
But don't forget, you can always contact us and we can teleport back here instantly.
I will, and that's a handy trick. Avantris, come here. And he reaches out to give you a big old bear hug, and he hugs you and he says, thanks for everything. Thanks for the gold. Thanks for saving this town. You're a big old hero now. Don't need us bounty hunters anymore, huh?
No, don't say that. I wouldn't be even half the person I am without you today. I promise you that. And I will call on you again for your help, and I'm sure you'll continue to save my life time after time.
We'll see.
Time after time.
At this point, Sylvia's been kind of camping out, and she lets you know that Amir is ready to go to her ship and set sail that day.
Okay.
She said that she'd prefer to meet you there to test out her to be a captain of her ship.
Perfect. So we'll just kind of meet her at the dock, then I imagine, and set sail together, but on different boats.
Well, Amir is ready to go, so whenever you guys are, I've got all of my pack. I've got everything I own in my pack. I'm ready.
I'm ready as well.
All right. Well, I put in my room. I put the night previous. I put my little Ramby doll and my Rodic doll like somewhere prominently in my room.
Yeah.
I sneak in there and put Fecal Deck right next to them.
And if you guys want to take some time, kind of shopping for like items to stock up,
right?
we can just do that offline.
Sure.
And if you want to sell the gems you got from Ratley, we
let's
can
do
do that
that.
offline and pick some stuff and make a decision. So we'll just say you went, got some good shit, or not, and we'll just
Sounds
do that
good.
offline,
Yeah,
and then
that was my
you'll
next
you'll
thing.
have it. You will have it on your ship. You'll have it on your ship.
Perfect. And then I wanted to, before we left, I wanted to talk to Gus about if he could give us a satchel of like rations and stuff just for travel. His special.
I already got big old packs for all of you. I'll have it all delivered to the ship. I mean, you can't be eating substandard sailors' rations if you are the masters and mistresses of the Dreamline Estate. Absolutely not. I won't stand for it.
Well, thank you, G-Tree. I appreciate that very much.
Well, thanks. Don't mention.
Well, are you ready, friends?
Let's go.
I suppose so, yeah.
Shall we find Amalia?
To Sylvie's ship of serenity. Let's go.
Do we have to notify Amalia out of character? We like ask Amalia like to get the boat ready?
No, she said just notify Captain Isaacs.
Oh right. Never mind.
You have a captain.
Shall we
Yeah.
meet Captain Isaacs?
Yeah, on Sylvie's ship of serenity.
I'm not sure that's what it's called, but
Serendipity. I like that better.
to the Knight's Patience.
To Sylvie's ship of a supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Let's go.
Okay.
And
So
then
you're
we head off.
stocked up on magic business. You stop at Stargazers. You notice that the equivalent exchange is temporarily closed for renovations. And it was as you're in the district, you stock up on business. We will do that off stream, offline, and you will make your way down to Blood Anchor, where it is docked. So it's kind of far away from all like the standard ships. And as you see the ship that was kind of in the middle of the harbor during your ceremony, and you see a smaller galleon than usual, but still a very large ship, probably a little bit bigger than Matthias's. And you see kind of the same just brilliant white sails, the emblem of the golden emblem of the Sea Eagles flying from the mast. And you see that there are a number of dock hands walking around, and as soon as seagulls kind of walk along you, as soon as you kind of make the bridge from Noble Garden to Blood Anchor, and they walk along, and as soon as you make it into Blood Anchor, you see someone from one of the watchtowers kind of run down to you and walk out and says, "You're the heroes. Will you be meeting Captain Isaacs?"
Yeah, we want to ship away.
Very well. He's very eager to meet you. I'll go find him. He'll meet you at the Knight's Patience.
Great. Could we have the name changed to Sylvie's ship?
No. And I just...
What? Oh, thank you for the
Mr.
raise!
Chemex, thank you for the
Thank
raid.
you.
You guys are awesome.
We have rats.
Yeah, people watching us, go check out Mr. Chemex. He does a D&D stream that's really cool.
Very good stuff. Good role players, great DM. Really
They're
fun
rats
stuff.
that stalk at night, guys. They're rats.
Yeah, welcome to the
Welcome.
Advantage
Thanks for hanging out.
So he heads off, and you make your way down, and he says, "The ship is in slip 14. 14. He's kind of a young recruit. You can kind of see he's probably a courier, and he runs off to one of the barracks, and you make your way down to the slip, and you see your ship. You see
Oh wow, she's beautiful.
this galleon is sitting in the harbor elegantly. It seems like it was very recently cleaned and waxed, and the sails are all rolled up, but it looks like there's a number of crew members already on board, kind of just walking around, just kind of keeping things all in order and ready for you. And as you arrive, you hear kind of footsteps coming down the dock, and you turn, and you see a tall human male. He has the armor of the Sea Eagles, not quite to the level kind of the admiral gear that Amalia has, but definitely a ranking armor. There's a number of emblems on his shoulders and on his breastplate as he's as the kind of the tunic is implying that he's a captain, and he has these brown hair pulled back into like a bun and large mutton chops. And he walks up to you. There is a sword at his side, kind of gleaming, with a kind of a similar pommel to Amalia's, but definitely not as elaborate. And he says, "Welcome to the Knight's Patience. I'm Captain John Isaacs." And he sticks out his hand to each of you.
Well, hello. I'm Sylvie Flickerwicket.
Rodek, as you know probably.
I know very well. I keep... who doesn't know the Saviors of Gulhaven?
Well, you don't have to say that.
I'm
I
blushing.
mean, please, by all means,
Well-
keep saying it. I'm fine with it.
Just so you know, I'm generally more modest than Avantris, so you don't have to do all that for me. But he loves it, if you'd like to know.
Well, I would hope that I hope I don't have to wait you too long. Where are we headed?
Well, we are, we're going to be visiting my family. They are in Bog Possum, and I believe the closest port is Ogway, correct?
I do not know where Bog Possum is. Is that in Whippoorwallow Swamp?
Yes, it is.
Then Ogway would be the closest port.
Yes, so we're planning to visit my family there. They are not doing so well, and now that I'm doing very well, I want to help them out a little bit. So we were headed that way. I haven't seen them in a long time. So if you could take us, I guess, to Ogway then.
Noble cause. We'll be ready to go in 4 hours.
Okay, that sounds lovely.
Thank you for giving me notice. You can wait here. You can wait up in the fortress. You're welcome anywhere on Blood Anchor. Just everyone here knows who you are. So
Wow.
I'll make sure that my crew gets ready, and we'll be ready to set sail. And feel free to enjoy this time.
Do you mind if we... Go ahead. Are you done? Do you mind if we just take a look around?
Feel free. And he says, just so you know, we'll follow the coast. It'll take about 5 to 7 days, depending on the wind. She's a fast one.
That's amazing.
Wow.
She's a fast one.
Far faster than I was expecting, so that's pleasant news.
Yes, I'm very pleased. I can't wait to see Mom.
Could anyone give us a tour?
I can give you a tour myself.
Oh, that'd be lovely.
Allow me to just have a few conversations. Could you please give me 10 minutes, and I can give you a tour myself?
That's
Take
fine.
the time that you need.
Very well. And
Holy moly, guys! You see that ship?
he goes
It's
off
huge.
and he starts giving these commands. He seems to be kind of giving orders, but he's not barking them. He's just commanding. Everyone is immediately snapping to attention. He seems to definitely be a well-respected captain, and he takes it out, kind of looking around, and you see that this harbor is filled with these warships. And you remember you saw a number of them get completely destroyed by dragon turtle. The dragon turtle. It seems like this has been they've been replaced, or the navy seems to be incredibly robust and back to full strength. There are soldiers, and the sea eagles are walking around with purpose, and it feels fantastic. And he comes back in about 10 minutes, and he says, "I can give you a guided tour wherever you'd like to go."
Just show us around the ship.
Oh, sounds good. And then he takes you aboard. It's freshly cleaned for you. And so he walks you around, and you see you explore this galleon. It's 3-masted, and there are, on the upper deck, there towards the back, there are 2 tiers. The helm is on the third tier, and on the second tier, there's this little small deck and stairs basically going down from the third to the second, down to the main hole in the back. And then on the front, there's one large deck at the same level of the third tier with long stairs going up on either side. You see that there are towards the stern of the ship that there are doors leading out. You kind of remember in Matthias' ship, there was more of a hatch, and you walk downstairs in the Ghost ship. These are doors that walk into the hold and then go down. There's also a large wooden slat where you can see that they're bringing cargo. As you're walking, it's getting pulled back. You hear shouting, and you see some of your servants from your house with these wagons of supplies and rations and food, and they're getting ready to load it. They start bringing in kind of these wooden cranes and start getting ready to load them into the ship. And he walks you down to the hold. There is a whole area, captain's quarters for him, and you kind of see that there is a whole area for like the crew. And he says, "This is Night Patience. It's crewed by 24 of my best men and women, and not all are fighters, but those that are good at what they do." And so there is a whole area for them to sleep. There's a whole cargo hold, a very large cargo hold, and then there is also quarters for all of you. And so you're able to find, each of you gets a room. It's a little bit small, as you would expect on the ship, but it's definitely a lot more comfortable than your situation on Matthias' ship, the Devils do. And you're able to kind of settle in, drop off your stuff in your room if you wish. And so you're able to kind of hang out for the 4 hours if you wish. And
I'm just gonna. Does my room have like windows that look out to the sea?
yeah, they all
So
have.
I'm gonna
have
sit
little portholes
kind of
that-
where I need to be to just stare at the water for the 4 hours,
You
excited for the trip.
Yeah, your room that you chose is facing out to the sea right now, and you can see the horizon. And it is a little bit of a nippier day, but it's a very bright, beautiful day, and the sky is this perfect shade of crystal blue.
So yeah, I'll sit there in the window with Lumi on my lap in pajamas. Just change into pajamas. I have a little throw blanket over me. I've got my big book of grudges, and I'm just writing up all of my grudges over the past week into my book.
Okay.
Well, oh yeah, there was one time that Avantris said, "Hey," but he said it in kind of a mean way, so I should write that down too. And then when Rodick and I were playing boyfriend and girlfriend, he called me friend instead of girlfriend, so I gotta write that down because that was a big grudge.
And so she's just gonna sit there and write down like pages and pages of grudges, like the stupidest things.
Okay, great. So you do that. Anyone else want to do anything before you set sail?
I'm gonna completely go ahead.
I was just saying, I'm just gonna walk around the boat and become acquainted with everything. You know, I know we got a tour, but
Yeah.
I want to really dig in and make sure I feel like it's, part like I'm one of the owners of the boat.
Yep, you get a very good sense of the Night's Pages. It feels good that you have, you have a little folding boat. This is a ship. You're the owner of a galleon. Rodick, what do you do?
I'm gonna take off all my armor and just have a nice, safe spot for it.
Okay.
That's easily accessible,
Got
but that basically, I'm not wearing any armor or weapons or anything.
Okay.
And I guess I would then kind of walk around and check. Like, are there any defenses, like any cannons on the galleon, or is it sort of?
So you look around. There are no cannons, but there are kind of gangplanks where they can board and ropes, and there's armaments and the like.
Okay.
You remember that like the cannons aren't a thing.
Oh right, there's no.
Yeah, they're not a
gunpowder,
thing. So the things
Sorry.
that the crooks were using were like these strange ballista type things.
Okay.
And so they kind of boarding, and then at the front there's kind of you see that there's a metal protrusion where they'd be able to use that.
Right.
And so after the 4 hours, Annalyn, you want to do anything?
I'm just gonna hang in my cabin and take butterscotch out and just kind of snuggle on the bed. I'm still a little shaky and not awesome about being on a boat.
Okay.
And for the sake of it, my pajamas are actually footy pajamas.
Okay. Footy pajamas.
Kind of like a kigurumi, but with actual footies on it.
Okay.
In the shape of a little pig, similar to Gertie.
Okay. Good. It's the shape of a little pig. You got those. We'll say you got those custom made during your
I
downtime.
was just doing my hat glamour to make it look like that.
Annalyn, you pull out butterscotch out of its little crate that it somehow survives in. We should talk about that. And he's this adorable little bunny, the color of butterscotch.
It's the girl.
This color of butterscotch, and it's just happy to kind of be out and playing around. And so you kind of snuggle and you wait, and the time passes very quickly. It's a very exciting experience. And then as soon as those 4 hours pass, you hear Captain Isaacs's powerful voice kind of call out. It says, "Cast off! We sail the Agway!" And there's a lot of shouting going around. You hear footsteps of the crewmen as the ropes that are keeping it tied to the dock are all thrown off, and the ship drifts.
Wait,
out of
wait,
its
I'm
lane.
coming.
And Sylvie's gonna run upstairs in her little pink
Okay.
footy pajamas, just so she can stare
You're
out
like
over the
dodging
water.
around the crew member
Yeah,
as,
like,
as they're. As
we're
they're
going.
Yeah, I go upstairs to sort
Okay.
of take a look.
And you all
Soak
go
it
out to
all
the
in.
sea, and you
And
see
kind of like wave at people from the dock as we leave.
Yeah, it's a little past midday at this point, maybe a little bit later. As you're setting sail, it's bright, and you as you are leaving the harbor, you remember you left the harbor to go on another adventure, but it was night and it was dark. You on a ghost ship. It was not as joyous as experience. And as you're leaving, you kind of see all of Gullhaven bathed in this shimmer, this sheen of sunlight as life has returned to the town. Kind of it feels like it's back to where it was after the assault of the Lockjaws. And as you're sailing away, you see a familiar looking ship also a little bit ahead of you.
The bitch that floats.
As large sails that say and a flag that says the bitch that floats. And you it's a little bit ahead of you, but you can kind of see as you're leaving the port, making your way out from the bay, from the harbor into Crabhammer Bay, you are quickly gaining speed on this ship as you eventually pass it as you make your way out into the open ocean. And you see Emiria kind of hanging off the jib, and she kind of gives you a little bit of a salute, and you see the crocodilian lizard folk all running around. They all have, some of them are kind of holding bottles of rum and alcohol.
That's
and they
awesome.
seem to be kind of less into it and disciplined as your crew. But you eventually pass her, and the ship sails off. And as you leave Gullhaven, you give it like one last look, and Captain Isaacs looks around, and he looks his thumb and puts it to the air and says, "Wind's favorable. I have a good feeling about this." And you sail and leave Gullhaven behind, and that's where we'll end the session.
Whee!
We're on our way.
We're on our way.
On the way to Ogway.
Yeah.
On the way to Ogway. It's so weird not being in. We've been in Gullhaven for like 400 years.
What to do, everybody?
Third arc.
I can't believe it.
Yay.
Unbelievable.
Great job, Mikey.
Thank
Amazing job.
Yeah,
That was a
really
good
good.
session.
It's Remagaroo. What to do, everybody?
Not to
That
be
was
confused with Crummy the
bullshit.
Crew.
Unintentional.
Really?
I created that character like 3.5 years ago.
Way before you created Crummy.
Wow. What are the odds?
Anyway, it's fine.
I love
This
it.
is fine.
That's
Only
cool.
subconscious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean we're
Thing.
clones. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out,
Thanks,
guys.
everybody.
As we're getting in, we're getting in. We've had a couple episodes in the third arc where things are already great. I didn't expect anything that happened today. It was great, and so it's been a blast. Thank you, Mr. Chemex.
Thank you so
if you're still
much.
here, we really appreciate the raid. Thank you to everyone who followed. If you're new, welcome. We love you. If you're not new, welcome. We love you. Or welcome back. We love you. Come and hang out in the Discord.
It should be up on chat. It just posted not too long
the
ago.
Discord. It's where we kind of stay communicated and making sure like when schedules change, because kind of towards late summer and around certain areas like scheduling can be kind of tough. Which is a announcement.
Oh yeah.
We are not doing Feywild tomorrow
On Monday.
Thank God we don't do on Thursdays. On Monday because Maya will be traveling. So we're actually running a one-shot. Derek is running it called Kobold Storm, where we will play 10 kobolds each, doing Tomb of Horrors, trying to get through. And every time one of us dies, another one comes up. And so we're going to basically see how far we can get
With kobolds.
into the Tomb of Horrors as kobolds, and see if we can make it in the 4 hours that we have. Or we burn all of our kobolds. So
How many will we burn?
How many kobolds are we going to kill on Monday?
I think that we're going to just burn.
I think we're going to kill all of the
And we are going to be
kobolds.
sprinting through the Tomb of Horrors. So if you want to see it, it'll be a blast. So tune in Monday. So another one of our famous one shots. And I think that's the only. Then we're back with Prime, usual
On
time
Wednesday?
on Wednesday. And I think that's it. I don't know if we're gonna rate anybody. But
yeah, well, let's
I love
right.
the magical Andy.
magical, and he is the great Andini.
That's
of all
Felix right
things.
there. That's Felix.
Felix. He's
Oh,
Felix.
yeah.
Where's Beat Rice?
Yeah.
That's
Felix.
Where's Beat?
Oh, can you do me a favor? Can you go over by that light
Yeah.
and grab? I started working a while ago working on Rabbit's book, the one with the
Oh.
shells on it, and I think she's in chat, so I want
Oh.
to show her the progress of her book
Yes.
so far. So I
Cool,
am,
it's a
for those
giveaway.
of you that are won the giveaway, and Zareth and Rabbit, I have been working on them. They just take a long time. So just wanted to give you a quick update. I can't really see if you guys can see that because it's not up. But
there you
it's
go.
not. So this is the book that I am working on for Rabbit. She was our 400 follower giveaway
Yes.
winner, and I do have the one for Zareth. That one is over there somewhere, and so just a
So
quick.
we do fun giveaways. You can
Yes.
win maybe something like that one day if you
Yeah.
tell your friends, and we get
Be like and subscribe.
some follower goals.
But
so,
it's still in the works.
Yeah.
Hopefully within the next couple of
Yeah.
weeks, I will be able to get those shipped out. But
Remember to follow the Great Andini on Twitch. He streams video games, World of Warcraft, Hearthstone, Call of Duty, Darkest Dungeon, some other thing. Not Call of Duty. CS:GO.
Counter-Strike.
Counter-Strike.
I play Counter-Strike poorly. I play poorly.
I think I always say Call of Duty.
Yeah, I mean they're all Rudy Tooty point and shoot
I do the
games.
same Rudy Tooty point and shooties. So if
Yeah.
you like those,
Yeah,
come
I mean,
on out.
that's it. And I guess we're gonna raid somebody if you want to spread the love of the Avantris fam. Who are we raiding, Rich?
should we do the Venture Maiden?
Sure.
Yeah, we'll raid the Venture Maidens. They have a
Yeah.
great stream.
We haven't rated them
Please
yet.
spread the love of the Avantris fam. If you have them, flash your hooters. Just spread the love, spread the joy. And with that, I guess we'll see you on Monday for Kobold Storm.
Yeah, thanks
And-
guys. We love you.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, we love you. And we will get another Beneath Dark Wings on the books, but that's still TBD.
Yeah.
7 people is a lot of people to manage, so we'll
Especially
figure it
when
out.
we're all at one table.
Yes. Okay. Well,
So.
we're almost off. Thanks so much, guys.
We love you guys.
We love
Thanks
you.
for hanging out with us. Bye.
Bye. We'll see you Monday to kill kobolds.